Hey, folks, and welcome to episode 72 of Malt and Magic. Now, behind the scenes, things have happened, and we are down one member, and it happens to be one of the important members. Yeah, they'll forgive me for that in a minute. No, it happens to be somebody very, very important to the stream. Dave, unfortunately, is getting his foot x-rayed. Foot x-ray. There's a Freudian slip that I didn't mean to do. So I am running the stream, hence the little bit of stress that's going on right now. But there's a Christmas tree behind me. We're all having fun. Let's just continue as we mean to go on. That being said, let's talk about what happened last week. So welcome back to Malt and Magic, where last episode our heroes found themselves locked in a perilous confrontation as the cavernous depths lit by these eerie green lights served as an arena of sorts. The Planar Detective Agency, alongside their valiant new allies, faced off against the treacherous Cassian Vale and the formidable Ebon Claw, a red shadow dragon corrupted by the darkest reaches of the Shadowfell. The battle itself was fierce and fraught with danger. Every strike and spell cast could have been their last as allies teetered on the brink of defeat, but through their unyielding spirit and a lot of teamwork, a lot of fun teamwork as well, our heroes persevered. And in a climactic moment, as Cassian Vale attempted to retreat through the portal, he was overpowered and hurled back into the material plane. His schemes lay to ruin and his body bisected in two, essentially. So tonight we return to the aftermath of this titanic struggle. Before our party now, the immense portal to the Shadowfell still yawns wide, a dark reminder of the potential threats that lurk just beyond. The party must now contend with the consequences of their actions and decide how to address this gaping maw of darkness that threatens to spill further chaos into the world. So join us as we navigate the fall of this battle, explore the ramifications of this hard-fought victory, and witness our heroes' resolve to seal the breach that stands as a stark gateway between realms. Let's see what choices are made. Let's see what challenges await. And stay with us as this adventure continues. Now, as always, our content warnings do apply. There may be extra scenes of graphic violence, depending on what the party decides to do. But most importantly, this is an adult stream. If there's anything that you sort of don't feel comfortable with at any point, please feel free to drop off and come back at a later date. And of course, there will be a horrendous amount of adult language and adult humour. You have been warned. With that, fingers crossed, folks, let's roll.
Yes!
Hey!
Did it. Sweet.
As you can tell, there was a minor panic there that we weren't going to go to the right view, but Dave has done a fantastic job before he's left us. Amazing stuff. Let's get some music on, shall we? Let's pick that one there. Very good. So, yes, we are going to go through our lineup, and then we will get to the inevitable action. So yes, I am Matt. I'm your Dungeon Master and Stream Manager for at least part of tonight. I'll also be playing the psychic characters of Takami and Callum.
Hello, and I'm Danny, and I play everybody's favourite UNT sorcerer, Lex Ordo.
I am Tom, the father half of Homie and the Dude. And is that dog outside my window? I'm not sure what's happening, but
I've sorted it. It's fine.
Okay. And I am playing Cabin Buckland, a human barbarian paladin. And I don't even know why I say paladin, because I don't know if I've used a spell yet in the last 10 episodes that I have been a paladin. But I'm going to try going forward. Maybe today.
You got your big fucking hammer.
That's right. And that's just in my trousers.
Oh,
Hey.
Hey.
what is up, everyone? I am Bodhi, the son half of Homie and the Dude, and I am playing Edgius Bones Jones, the Bard Sorcerer. And man, this is going to be a big cleanup, dude. I'm not sure if I've got a hoover big enough to deal with what we have in front of us, but I'm excited to try and use prestidigitation 100 times to solve this problem.
Just cast mending 45 times in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Fix this.
All right, I guess it's my turn. This is Fletcher. I'm from the Eldritch Press, and I am playing Ottoman, son of Regman, a paladin of Sharon who seeks to return his original patron, the Raven Queen, back to her position of power. Let's see if I'm on the road of succeeding at that. We will see.
Hello, I'm Josh. I am going to be playing Garnot Surian, who is a red-skinned orc fighter rogue, and I agree with Edgius, there is a lot of cleanup to do. We blew our load all over these enemies, and there's going to be a lot of prestidigitation needed.
Yes, indeed.
Amazing stuff. Yes,
You know what,
and
Fletch?
of course the one person we missed out. Go on, Tom.
No, I'm just so impressed by Fletch knowing his lore over 2 episodes better than I have known mine over probably 40 now. And your backstory is flawless, dude.
I'm not so sure. I might look confident, but I'm not that confident. And we'll see if I can keep some of this shit together. We'll see what happens.
It's all about walking the
Thank
walk.
you,
Don't
Tom.
worry about that. We're all good.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, so obviously Dave is not with us right now, but hopefully we will be with us soon. He plays our resident Tabaxi rogue, Jewel of Shadows. Danny, you're about to say something, buddy.
I've just got images of Cavan's backstory. It's just pages and pages about his genitals, and then about 2 sentences about his actual life.
Sketches.
Good stuff. So yes, and a massive thank you again to both Fletch and Josh for joining us for a second week in a row as our guest stars. Pleasure to have you both here, and a pleasure for you both to be joining in the chaos. Excellent stuff. So, as we sort of start this week's episode, or tonight's episode, I should say, Cassim Vale has just been unceremoniously dumped back through this Shadowfell portal in 2 halves. Jewel has grabbed the onyx crystal that was around his neck, successfully made a save against whatever that was. Takami and Callum now are sort of still there, holding back any creatures that seem to jump or try to jump through this portal, and Garnet and sort of Jewel join in this resistance now at the front of this portal. There was also a wall of force that was dropped, which I think is still there, to prevent any creatures coming through. So you have a time window now to decide what you need to do. Ottoman not looking particularly fancy right now. Neither is Garnet, although I think Garnet's back up to almost half health. And Cavan, who did get knocked unconscious, but is back to some semblance of health now after Edgius sort of running past and healing him for a moment. So, my friends, what are we doing?
I'm going to lay a hand right off the bat.
Yeah?
I'm assuming to heal yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 30.
Just placing hands on people's shoulders. We're an amazing team.
I'm touching no one but myself. I don't care who's watching, and I'm doing 30 hit points of grace coming from my patron, and I would imagine I am covered in blood head to toe after being devastated on top of the back of a dragon and then crashing to the ground and crawling out from the wreckage after someone revived me. So I'm probably a hot mess. But if I recall, I was dropped to a knee in prayer after seeing what I considered an omen of a raven in the room, which is a total surprise to me.
Absolutely. Very good point, as this raven does sort of core above. How many hit points does that put you on then, Ottoman?
I got that temporary 10 hit points. 15 hit points from somebody was buffing me up, and then I put 30 on it, so that's going to give me
45.
45, yeah. Or 30 plus 15, yeah.
I'll lay some hands on myself as well.
Yeah.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
Circle jerk. I was, at the end of last episode, I was starting to prepare my gate seal spell. It takes me a minute to prepare. I have got a portal key, which it consumes in the spell, so I've got an onyx key. But out of politeness, I suppose I'll check. I am about to close this portal down. Are you guys going back through, or are you staying on this side?
I feel like I'm staying here for the moment because I'm trying to figure things out, I guess. So I don't have an answer if you're asking. I don't look like I'm moving towards a portal, even though I believe Ottoman was moving towards a portal at the end of the last game. Somehow I think it was I thought it was the omen that I saw of the raven that kind of turned me away from going back into the portal. Okay, so
it stopped you in your tracks almost as
that.
you were walking towards this portal. You're just still looking at this raven above you. At this point, I think then Lex, Callum there with sort of this icy warhammer still covered, his body covered in ice, just looks back at you. You close the fucking portal, darling, already.
I will walk up to Lex and I will place a hand on your shoulder, Lex. And Matt, I'd like to expend whatever spell slot I need to aid Lex in casting this gate seal spell and just provide him with some extra arcane power for this.
So what you'll see that onyx key almost get stuck in a Doctor Strange style circle of magic, which is made up of like clockwork gears and stuff, and then that'll all coalesce and just towards the portal to hopefully close it.
Cool.
Absolutely. In this moment then, given you are being aided by Edgius Lex, I need a spell casting ability check, please. So roll a d20 and add your spell casting ability modifier, please.
That was just me hoping I cast it, and it's a good one.
It's a big ass portal, this one. Fit a whole dragon through it.
Can I use I'm going to use my inspiration.
You're being helped by Aegeus, so you get advantage anyway, sorry.
Oh, good. Good. That's a 15.
15. So it takes, there's a moment where your energy connects, and you see Callum just sort of shove Takami out the way and then move with Jewel, and Takami grabs Garnet, and sort of everybody shuffles out to the sides. And your energy connects with the portal, but it's almost like as it hits, you just feel resistance. And then Aegeus just walks up, places a bony hand on your shoulder, and sort of channels his own magical energy through you. And with that extra surge, what colour does your magic usually take, Lex?
So because I'm using the onyx key, I suppose it will start off black, which isn't working, and then when Aegeus puts his hand on me, I'll get his shadowy magic spinning around it, and then I'll add my own bronze mechanical spiral around it as well.
So there's this black beam, dark saber-like energy that's central, and then your bronze sort of almost like a clockwork spiral around it, and then Aegeus's ghostly dark purple flame-like energy that flows through, and eventually you just see this portal even close and begin to shrink down, and then there's like this singularity point before it just goes and the portal is closed. All of the lamps, the braziers in this room suddenly just go out. And you are left in total darkness. Edgius, make me a perception check, please.
I pull out I'll pull out my lighter.
Pull out. I'll say pull out a torch.
That's a nat 19 for a perception of 24. But I also have 120 feet of dark vision as well.
Yeah. So the perception check was to feel something in your pocket begin to grow warm, and you do feel it grow warmer and warmer and warmer. And with your dark vision, at the center of the room, you see this small mound just begin to form, sort of stone cracks, and this mound of dirt forms.
Edgius has a moment of like nightmarish shock as he thinks the giant lady from the Feywild is coming to haunt him again. And he just has this pure, paralyzing, fucking just fear moment. Can I reach into my pocket and grab whatever it is that feels warm from my pocket?
You can indeed. You pull out a small pouch, which did contain seeds.
Oh, my Jack and the Beanstalk beans. I've still got one bean left.
You have indeed. And as you sort of take hold of that pouch and that mound grows up, everybody would now see a single beam of what looks like faint moonlight begin to shine down.
I'll walk away. I'll tap Lex on the shoulder, like almost like a good job, buddy, kind of thing. And then I will turn around, walk past Ottoman, tap him on the shoulder, be like, it's just our friend's bird, dude, get up. And I'll walk towards the mound. I will bend down, pull the little like seed out. I'll bury it in the mound, and then I'll just shit. Does anyone have any spit or water that I could borrow?
I gotta take a leak.
That's I've heard that's sterile. You're up, buddy. Ottoman, you're up. And Edgius will kind of just look up and just be like, assisting. Well, I've done the task, Nimoy. Hopefully we can chat soon. And we'll bury the thing and kind of walk away. Be like, whew, I don't know about anyone else, but I didn't get hit at all, which for me is rare. I feel great right now, guys. Like, I really feel like I'm slotting into my new role in the team really well. I'm very happy. Lex, great job on our formation. I think we nailed that. Kevin, you were right in there. Again, fantastic job. I feel like all around fucking gold stars, guys. Like, I feel like that was gregreat.
Dog shit on my end. Yeah, where the fuck were you anyway, dude? Like, I thought we were in front, and then you were right behind us, covering, flanking, and I turned around, and what I saw is you, not sure what that was. Was that your fancy new sword that you were hiding behind?
I know, right? As I look at Cabot and the nose is on the other side of his face. Yeah, your battle strategy to just hide behind a big sword it worked great for you, but
yeah, it was great.
These guys.
Yeah, but did you not see me? Did you not see me and I point at Garnet? I'm like, me and Garnier. I don't remember your name.
Because you're worth it.
Because who's worth it?
Wait, Garnier, that's because you're worth it.
Garnier.
Because I appreciate you giving me validation. It's not often I get that from this group. Often I'm told to just be quiet. So I honestly appreciate
He does have a habit of talking too fucking much. Takami then chimes up as she now starts to wrap a bunch of cloth around that gemstone staff that she had to hide the amethyst behind it.
Well, I mean,
what did I just hear Edgius say next to that mound of dirt? And when he walked past, he said something on it.
Make me what's your passive perception, Ottoman?
Well, let's have a peek at that. Passive perception is going to be, wisdom. That is going to be a plus. That's going to be 11.
11. I will say the one word you do catch then is Nimue.
Nimue. Okay. So, and if I could ask, like I haven't really had a chance to. I don't know anybody here. I just recognize them because each time I've met them, it's been bloody battles. So, but when I'm looking at Edgius, who seems to have been kind of close by, explained to me what the Raven was, or just mentioned it. What do I see? Is this like a skeletal form, or is that what I see, or is that only when he wants people to see that? So I don't know what I'm seeing.
Take it away, Bodhi.
So what you saw last time was a large, dark gentleman with dark complexion and like a Mr. T kind of mohawk, very like beefy guy was what you saw last time we hung out. Since then, Edgius has had a coming of age moment where he realized he just needs to be himself, and himself at the moment is actually a skeleton. So yes, you would see the hollowed bone structure of a man that once existed and walked this earth. But is now just a bony skeleton.
Okay.
Who likes rock and roll.
All right, peace out. So, but it's putting me off a little bit here. So I'm going to have to kind of stare him down and do a divine sense. I need to find out a little bit about this creature before me. It's looking a little undead in my mind, and I'm starting to get a little heebie-jeebies on it. So, as I'm doing that, I'm going to ask a question, depending on what I get back from the divine sense. So I would grab a holy symbol and I would stare intently. Maybe my eyes get a haze of gray about them and shimmer a little bit, and I'm going to try to stare into this creature's soul and see what I find.
So as you stare at Edgius using this divine sense, then there is a conflicting feeling that washes over you. There is both undeath and life here. And it is although it's uncertain or mixed feelings, it is a familiar sense. As you get the impression there is a touch of your very patron at work here. Edgius is very, very much alive, but for some reason, his form that he takes is that of a skeleton.
Wow. Okay, that's unexpected. So I kind of curiously look at him and say, I have not seen your kind before. What manner of creature are you? Who do you serve?
That's such a wild way to approach someone you've been in combat with twice, my guy. Like, we are easily on like first name basis. You're chair guy. I'm Edgius. And we look. What I am is a skeleton. I'm a skeleton. And who do I serve? Well, I mean, kind of like Lex, because he's our treasurer. Like, really, like if it came down to like we were talking like, in a legal sense, I feel like he kind of owns the like it would be in his name because he's the most reliable. So maybe Lex. But like, I mean, there's the boat dude who was kind.
Sharon.
It was something like that. It was a dude in a like hood, like skeletal.
Sharon,
face.
you have seen the ferryman? Have you crossed the river and come back?
Well, I've talked to him twice. I didn't cross a river. I was more at a waterfall. It was like looked like certain death, but he dapped me up last time I was there, and we were chill.
He does not speak to just anyone.
Well, he didn't really have a. Now that you say that, I actually don't remember him saying much. I actually remember me saying a lot, and him kind of just being there was actually more my recollection of the situation, if I'm honest. But and I don't want us to start off on a bad foot.
That's about par for the course.
Yeah. I doubt he talked much at all, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I gave him a chance. I paused, but there was no response,
I elbowed
Are
to
you in
Kami,
service
and I'm
to Charon?
I'm wondering if new homie's totally regretting this line of questioning, because he asks a three-word question and he gets a 17-minute response. He seems like he's still in. He's not been.
I mean,
I'm confused as fuck right now, but
I mean, he hasn't stabbed Edgious yet.
Look, to answer your question of whether I serve him is like, I've got to answer that with a question for you. Like, do you feel like music serves the soul, or does the soul serve music? It's like, is he serving me because I'm out here doing his shit, or am I serving him because I'm out here doing his shit? Do you know what I mean?
Not at all.
no.
Nope.
What?
No.
Oh, well.
Amazing.
Nope,
I will say at this point then, as that moonlight shines down and it is concentrated over this mound, this tree begins to grow. This bush begins to grow, and there are these petals that glow with a faint orange golden glow. And as that happens, the braziers light up again, but the flames that burn are a pure white. And on the winds, anybody that has a passive perception of 11 or above would just hear, "Thank you." So everybody can now see again. This raven
Wow, okay.
flutters down to Cavern and lands on your shoulder, Cavern.
Did anybody else hear somebody say thank you?
Yeah. My
Look
man
around.
Edgious has a connection to the moon goddess. I don't know how, but he's like in the pocket of so many deities. I don't understand it because he's annoying as shit.
Some would call me a deity slut, as it were. There's also the Fey one. There's a lot actually that I interact
You get
with.
around.
As it turns that way. Yeah, I get around. Yeah, I'm like the bicycle for demi to full gods. It would seem.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you get ridden a lot?
Yeah, they do ride me. Yeah, they give me a lot of shit to do, and they bother me about it. Yeah,
I did actually
that's
use it as a bobsled one time. Actually, yeah, that was quite fun.
That was true. He actually did do that once.
So this raven lands on Cavan's shoulders, and
Lands on his shoulder.
I kind of look at Cavan, and I'm just curious, but I haven't just seen these things, and so I want to come across as I understand that we fight a common enemy, but I don't understand who my new acquaintances are. So I'm looking at this raven, and that means something to me, and I kind of look at you with a say nothing, but I have a questioning look. Cavian. I look at the
take
raven.
that. Yeah, I take that as curiosity. So I just put my forearm out and invite the raven to hop onto my forearm, and then I walk toward you, Ottoman, and I'm just kind of stroking the raven, and I say, "She's beautiful, isn't she?"
I nod. And I say, "Is this your familiar?"
I'm not sure which. I am familiar with Moro. I'm not sure. Moro, can you say hi? I'm not sure if Moro can talk, but Moro can. I know Moro. Say hi to Moro. Go ahead and stroke her. She's fine.
Okay. I kind of reach out and stroke the raven, and was she sent to you? Was Moro sent to you as an aid or a guide, or did you train her from a fledgling?
No, none of the above. I just have what would I call it? A direct line through Morrow to, and I look at Ottoman. I'm not sure if I want to even get into the whole backstory of Mara, so I just say to someone that I want to stay in touch with from a distance, and so Morrow helps us do that.
His friend, as it were. Ed just doesn't wink because he doesn't have skin, but he tilts his head like he would be.
It's a Jack Skellington type wink. It's weird.
Yeah, we have a habit of leaving sending stones and not using them, so the bird follows us, and that's quite helpful.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Not a messenger of the Raven Queen.
Oh
no, that's my man Aegeus right there.
Yeah.
My head is spinning.
The Raven Queen. Say more.
The Raven
Lady
Queen.
of Death.
The Lady of Death, the Mistress of Sorrows. She is my patron and is no more, but she sends omens, and I know she exists. And one of her omens and her messengers is the Raven. So I find it curious that my new friend here, that you have a raven as a friend, a pet.
Hey,
That's the
can
most
we
metal
circle back
shit
around to the
I've
bit when
ever
you
heard.
said she was no more? I thought via the ferryman you were talking to the Raven Queen. Is she dead? Is this a recent dedevelopment?
I kind of look
Or is it
down in sadness when you say that, and I explain. Her realm. She is no longer in control of her realm in the Shadowfell. It has been lost, and her
Shit.
first, Sharon, now answers my prayers. Although the Raven Queen still exists, her base of power is not what it was, and I've lost touch with her.
Dude, you are so fucking metal. I aspire to be as metal as you are. Like that sound like that's so fucking. So I also have spoken to that dude. I didn't realize he told me. I was under the impression the head honcho was still in business. Lex, I have an idea. You're the portal guy, Lex. You shoot me down here, but I have an idea for these guys. Maybe if we can get to like an inn or somewhere where we can like get some private space and maybe like rooms or something. If we take a map of Enoweth, you guys have spent some time in the place on the other side of that portal, right? I assume the Shadowfell. So
We have.
I wonder if we got you to possibly either draw or show us a map of what the Shadowfell looks like. Maybe we lay the two over on top of one another and we see whether the portals intersect. Because if you know of more portals, then Lex, along our travels that we have over the next couple of months, we said we were going to shut down portals. So if we can almost like coordinate where those portals might be based on where they are in the Shadowfell, we might be able to then find them here in Enoweth and begin closing them down. Almost like a map overlay kind of thing.
What I hadn't appreciated before was that the Raven Queen draws power from the Shadowfell. Would that be
realm.
correct, or does she have domains elsewhere where she can get power?
Her domain and her realm is in the Shadowfell, one of many realms within the Shadowfell, but they are weakening by a greater power, which has infiltrated much of the Shadowfell and is taking realms from other powers.
Right. Because my main concern
Ottoman,
is...
make me a religion check quickly, please. Sorry to interrupt there.
Ottoman?
A religion check from... Yes, please.
Okay. That is a natural 2, so it ain't giving me much. That makes it a 6, I believe.
A 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it a
you've
5.
been- A 5, fantastic. You've been a follower of the Raven Queen for some time. And during your time amongst... totally blanking, I forget the name of the temple that you studied at now. But following sort of what happened to the family and moving to that temple... The only bit of history around the Raven Queen was that the closest connection anybody's been able to get to her was in the Shadowfell, which is where this sort of line of reasoning comes from. I'm going to ask Edgius and... in fact, no, I'll ask the rest... Everybody, make me religion checks, please. Go on, it's there, like, what?
Big fat 9.
9?
19.
19.
5 minus 2 is a big 3.
Amazing.
Nine,
And then
isn't it?
Garnet?
Go team.
6.
6. Fantastic. This makes perfect fucking sense. Everybody else is just there like, Raven Queen who?
Yeah.
Edgius, however, you've read about this. You probably sort of know inherently as well, just from your time, that the source of the Raven Queen's power actually lies in the realm of death, which in our world exists as a 9-precinct realm itself. There is no easy way to get to death, but the Raven Queen had a presence in the Shadowfell, and it was almost like a kingdom of sorts, or her own domain there, with a border onto death as well. That's probably what you get from, in terms of that check, and probably what you understand around what Ottoman is talking about right now.
Holy shit, I just put something together. So, this person, you mentioned Ottoman last time that we saw one another. You mentioned a person by the name of the King Killer. Now, this person is very important to me as well. I once tangled with him, and my question is, well, my thought is this: when I fought him, some sort of cataclysmic magical event happened. Hence why I am, as you asked earlier, Chair Guy, what I am now, and that is very much, something that happened because of this magical explosion. Now, I survived and managed to acquire some of these shadowy magical powers. These stuff that I assume was gifted to me by the Raven Queen / Charon. But what I just clicked into is Klein, who I'm not sure if you knew that was the King Killer's name, but if you didn't,
Klein?
His name is Klein. Maximilian
I know that
Klein.
name.
I give out a howl of disgust when you say that name. And I don't want to interrupt you, but when you say that name, I kind of totally blank out, and fury and anger kind of comes over me when you say that.
This happens a lot.
Oh, do you know this Klein as well? Have you got a tangle with him as well?
I've not met him personally, but I don't know. I've sort of seen him. I've heard mention of his name before, and two other people as well.
Well, exactly. So what I realized though is if me fighting him and this cataclysmic event happening allowed me to get Shadowfell powers that came from him, he must have originally been like me and Chair Guy here, in of that he must have been a follower of the Raven Queen / Charon, and thus he would know a direct way to, the best way to infiltrate a queen is from within her own guard. So I wonder if there was someone to get information about him, if we could somehow find the Raven Queen or talk to the boat guy, they might have some other information on him.
The King Killer is... Go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, unless the Shrouded Lord gave him intel on the Raven Queen, and it's the Shrouded Lord who's diminishing her power in the Shadowfell.
Yes,
That's-
yes. That
That's
is
another
it.
name I've heard.
Ooh, is the third one
So that's it.
Shadowthorn?
No, the Shrouded Lord is another name, so that'd be 4 names that I've heard.
What were the other
Shit.
two that you? Yeah, the other two that you said you had heard of.
Well, I was having this. Just a little bit about me. I like to wander around, and I get lost a lot, and I end up in different places. Somehow I ended up in the Shadowfell, and I couldn't find a way out, which is really odd because normally I can just walk all over the place. Anyway, I happened to see these 3 sort of figures having a conversation. So I thought I'd have a little listen in. They were. I heard something about this Shrouded Lord that you mentioned. One of them was a sort of a human sort of like spellcastery type, had really like greasy black hair and a really sort of hooked nose, not too dissimilar from mine, although mine's beautiful. One of them was like one of those elven, shadowy sort of figures, judging by the attire they were wearing, could have been druid. Woman had really white hair, a bit as white as my cowl here, and one of them looked to be maybe a little undead, maybe a lich. Is that what they call them? A lich? Not as cool looking as Edgius there, but yeah. And I heard the names Klein. The DM's gonna have to correct me if I say these wrong, but Klein,
Right,
Vane, and Leora.
Spot on.
No. Wait, Mayanora or Leonora?
Liora.
Oh, so she was one of the elders from Mor Stacy, if I'm not mistaken. Vane
Do you know
and
what? I
Klein.
was fucking racking my brains, and if you hadn't have said that, I would. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So she's an elder from Mor Stacy. The other 2, if they were referring to each other as Klein and Vane, that's they're the Shrouded Lord and Klein. So we know that. But she was contacting them. Of some is that right, Matt? Am I getting that right?
Danny, what's your understanding?
Fuck.
So, if we've got Shadow Vane, Klein, and Leonora.
Dane?
Yeah, they were the ones talking just then, or were they talking about those 3?
Hang on a minute,
The way
Roger.
Garnet's
Can you get my
described
note
it.
for me?
Go on.
Roger wrote everything down. Right, so they were 3 powerful figures. You might want, looking at them and the sort of power they were exuding, you might call them a dark triumvirate, maybe.
Okay. Spoon feed it, come on.
And there were a lich, human mage, and elven shadowy woman. And I just as they were talking, they were just saying, "Hey, Klein. Hey, Vane. Hey, Lenora," sort of thing. So I think they were who they said they were.
How close were you when this conversation happened?
Close enough
just
to hear
for-
those things, but close enough to not get caught.
Edgius will
So
place a
Klein
hand on
is like a
Garnet's
lich
shoulder.
character now, which makes sense because we've seen him deformed in a scry, haven't we?
Yeah, we have indeed. Yeah. I'll put my hand on Garnet and be like, "You were so close to using that super sick force abilities that you have to crush the biggest problem that has existed in this part of the world."
Hey,
Only wish.
good news is, if Leonora was part of the Triumvirate, she gone.
Leora.
Yeah, whatever her fucking name is, it doesn't matter. She's dead.
You killed her?
she's-
You killed her?
Wait, was she the one that no, that was the one that began with an S that was killed, the nice one. Leora was leading them. She was the one who did the throat slitting.
Which one did you
But
say
the
was the
druids were going to
Shrouded
go fuck
Lord?
her up, weren't they?
Did you say the Shrouded
Vane.
Lord was one of them?
Well, we
no.
thought the Triumvirate was the Shrouded
Yeah.
Lord, Klein, and Vane, but it turns out it wasn't. It was this white-haired witch, and the Shrouded Lord is probably the puppet over the top, right? The master of puppets.
Yes. That's
Master
what I
Arm.
think.
There was something they did mention, and it was like the Shrouded Lord's goals or something, or one of them at least. Anyway, they didn't even sound that sure about it, but they seem to think that his ambition might transcend the domination of a single realm, maybe.
I mean, you can't
And
just
you just
lightly
sat there
sprinkle
while
that
this
fucking
happened?
cataclysmic back, you know?
You just
I don't know,
you
like
just-
he might be orchestrating some sort of multiversal imbalance, maybe.
You hear a
You know,
crack
just
of
casually on a
ice
Sunday.
as Callum, the whole ice form of Callum just shatters, and even he looks at Garnet and goes, "Excuse me, what the fuck?"
Yeah, that's just what Roger has on my notes on the world, on the places that we've travelled to so far. So that's what we had in the conversation.
Does
Can
anybody
I
else
ask you
feel
guys-
like we need to get the rat to talk and just ignore the orc, or no, just me? Okay, I'll go into a corner.
I will have you know that I can actually talk. I pulled a card from the deck of many things,
shit.
and I can
Okay,
actually
yes,
talk.
I've seen a lot of creepy shit today. I'm going to go have a word with myself.
Why does he
over
sound
there.
like I want to hire him as my accountant?
Well, I mean, I am actually Garnot's accountant. That's why he's not broke. He gets lost a lot. I can't help him with that. I'm not very good at navigating because, tiny. But, I help him with other things. Yeah, I know.
How are
Yeah,
you-
okay, Roger. I've still not got used to the fact
How are,
you
you
can talk.
how are you at cooking French cuisine under a hat?
I have a chef hat. I can cook this. I don't know about French. I don't know where that's from, but I can cook various
So
different
Dryamarian
cuisines.
style.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you work exclusively for the orc, or because we possibly could use some accounting skills? We're good at collecting.
Oh, we've
it's just-
been together since birth. Well, since I was born, anyway.
No, that's fine.
We've Roger's always.
Kevin,
Roger,
you
do you
trying
have
to put Ethel out of a job? The old lady in
No,
Dryad's Gate?
this is Ethel's assistant. Raj, do you have a
Oh, I
card?
see.
Do you have a card or anything, or anything?
Oh, yeah,
way
sure.
we can...
I dropped him. He goes into the armor.
Roger dives into a bag. Yeah.
Well, this is this armor that I'm wearing. We like to call it my armor of holding because that's where all of Roger's sort of stuff. At one point, it was magical and it was a bag of holding that was within my armor, but we had to get rid of that magic in order so I didn't get ripped apart. Anyway, so Roger comes back out and hands out a little card, which is it's a normal shaped card. It's a normal size card, but he's just like.
It sounds to let me try this again. What you might not know is that the Shrouded Lord has a realm that grows in strength. It is known as Moonwell, and I have spent time there. In Moonwell. Yes, it is a powerful place of darkness and cold, mystery and lost souls. It suckers the souls of the dead away from crossing the river, draws them in to be corrupted by the Shrouded Lord, who uses them, sends them through portals into our realm here, sowing dissent and turmoil. The Shrouded Lord was the power behind the destruction of the House of Ravens and the fall of Kedmir and the coup that happened there and the destruction of my house. The Shrouded Lord pulls the strings of the King Killer, who I hunt to avenge my family. There is much more at stake here. What portal are we at now? Where is this located?
Kevin turns to Takami and says, I'm pretty sure that was a very important lore drop. And then just...
she looks up from wrapping her stuff. Sorry, what? I lost all... Edgis was talking too much. I just zoned out. What happened?
No, I'm not.
There was a rat. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not really listening to the details either, but I could tell just by the significance, like the energy there. I feel like it was fairly
Bodhi full
significant.
on took his hat off. That's how we know it was significant.
I suppose that I should probably point out as well that, I said I was wandering around and all of that. I happened to wander into a tower and then climbed up to near the top of the tower where the meeting was happening. This something called the Eclipse Tower. Welcome to the Eclipse Tower, that's sort of where this meeting was taking place.
The Eclipse Tower, is it?
Yeah, it's one of those sort of nexuses for like all the ley lines and all that sort of stuff. Even though I'm not magical, I've got a lot of psionic energy. So, and even with that, I could still feel the raw magic coming from these ley lines. It was pretty rad.
that-
I think
hang
is
on a
the word.
minute. Oh shit! I just had a thought. So the Eclipse Tower in the Shadowfell is at the convergence of some ley lines. So
Yeah.
is the tower at the Crystalline Isle.
Yeah, I was about to say the Azure Pillar. I was about to say the Azure Pillar.
So if the Shadowfell overlays onto Enoweth, it must be the same place in different dimensions, right? Ley lines all converge. Mm-hmm. It's essentially an evil version of the crystalline circle.
Okay.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this. You said the Shrouded Lord takes people before they go into the Raven Queen's domain, steals them from death, and uses them in this world to do his bidding. Which might explain the shadow creatures that's been haunting this place.
Yes, that is what drew me into the portal at Stonebark Village, I guess it was. That's what led me there in my chase. Is that it? Was that right?
Yeah.
That was absolutely spot on.
All right. I followed the shadow or the King Killer through that portal. Garnet and I discovered what you have learned from us so far.
So
these portals are used as strategic points by the Shrouded Lord to consolidate more power and send his minions through to disrupt our world. They are strategic and important. They must be controlled, not necessarily destroyed. Because if we destroy them, how will we make our way to the Shadowfell and the Shrouded Lord's domain to defeat them? We must hold the portal ourselves.
Well, Ottoman, so what's coming from the other end, just so you understand what's been going on our end while you've been on the other side. By the way, so many questions about Moonwell, where they're actually based, how we can kind of pincer movement them. Ooh, I'm excited for Astral Sea and Astral Planar travel. Ooh, exciting times. But realistically, what I want to ask you is and inform you of, because I want to hear your opinion on this, chair guy. When we last kind of were executing our plans based on some information we got from a Fey dude, and some promises we made and some things like that. Our plan is to reduce the number of portals to each realm within Enoweth down to 1 per realm, so that there can be almost like a channel so that we know what's coming in and also what's going out. And we're hoping to basically reduce it down so that we can keep 1 open, but it means that we then will know what they're sending through, as well as then if we decide to send anything through ourselves, we could do. Now, Lex, my good friend over here, and I'll put my hand on Lex's back, is able to open portals at any time. So if we needed to do a full frontal assault into the Shadowfell or this Moonwell that you spoke of, we could situate people at different places where there are, debunked portals, and then have them open those portals and charge in. Similar to, have you heard that the ye old tale known as the Avengers? I believe it's called Endgame or something like that, where there's this amazing bit of the novel where they talk about all these portals opening and all these legendary people coming through the portals to defeat this dude called I think he was called Thanos or something like that. But
At this
yeah,
point,
it
Takami
sounds
takes out some
annoying.
jerky and throws it to Kevin. Hey, Kevin, on your left.
I grab it. I hand Takami a little like wineskin to take a sip out of the wineskin, and I actually squat down. I sit down on the ground and kind of dust off a little bit of space next to me and say, "It's not too bad down here." While we wait.
Speaking of opening a portal of any time, I have just used my last Shadowfell key. But Jewel, that onyx pendant you got, I'm thinking that would work. Do you want to put it in the trinket box? As a try not to activate it.
And at this point, this is where you realise Jewel has probably spent the last 5-10 minutes just staring intently at this onyx crystal, and she just sort of sorry, what?
Put it in here before you
in
leave
the
first.
box. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Don't let it touch me. Just put it in the box. Thank you.
And she drops the chain. As she drops the crystal and the chain into the box, that ghostly green glow that it had continued to almost just burn with dissipates, and it goes inert and just this solid black. Even the chain itself, the silver becomes dull, almost tarnished. And Cog then just gets one of his wings and closes the box.
Just for the record, we got a key here to open a portal to the Feywild, the Shadowfell, and the Astral Plane. We're golden.
That's impressive.
Are you able to go back to the material plane?
Wait
as long as I
a
leave it open, I
fucking
suppose.
second. Wait a fucking second. Nah, Matt, nah. There's no way. Did you just say go back to the material plane as in
If we get
this
stuck opening a
isn't?
portal back home.
No, you mean is this as in this isn't the material plane that we're currently on?
I look around.
I don't know. I'd walk through a portal. I don't know where I am at the minute.
I think they've gone
Where
too
are
far
we?
down the rabbit hole. I think it was a simple question of if you go somewhere, can you get back?
That's.
Oh no, I didn't know where we are now. Are
Boy,
we on
you
the
blew his mind there.
Stress peak.
It was just his bad navigation. I was confused. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Cool. I was gonna say I was really scared for a minute. Look.
Where are we now?
You are currently.
Where is this? Where is this portal?
You're in Eleanor, in the Drymerian region of Enoeth, which is in the west of this continent.
Is that anywhere near Baldur's Gate?
You take a left at the crossroads, you get to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm really
I have heard names of 2 other portals that the Shrouded Lord uses. There is a third that I do not know its location or its name, but one portal that I know of or heard of is in Rosendoom or Rosendom. Another is in
that rings a bell because that's where Klein has been spotted as well. Shadowthon's been spotted there, so that rings true.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm getting excited.
And how about
this is some good shit.
Thalisa, as it may be called.
Yeah, we knew.
Oh,
did
God.
you
Those
shut that
two
one?
are.
Did you shut that one down?
Nope.
Those, and then there was one
got
at
out of
Stonebark
very
also. We went in Stonebark. Is that different than those 2?
Yes.
Stonebark is closed.
We have closed that permanently, so there's only 2 left.
Okay. So these other 2 that I just mentioned, you don't have any knowledge of them?
We knew of them, but we didn't know there was portals there.
We knew that Shadowvane, Gonzo knows.
Lex.
Yeah.
Thank you. Gonzo knows was spotted in Rosendom quite a lot. We first met him in Thalisser, and that is where all the shadowy creatures were abducting people, draining the life of people, and that was where I first met Jewel, actually, investigating those disturbances.
Kevin turns to Takami and passes a cigarette to her and says, if we can keep these two around for another session, I reckon we could finish by Christmas. This whole campaign will be done.
To calm myself,
We've made more
I
progress
don't
in 20
smoke,
minutes
but
than 20 months.
it certainly seems like people are working out some stress here. It feels like group therapy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Feels like we're in
Ottoman,
fast forward mode right
Ottoman,
now.
Ottoman,
Yes,
Ottoman.
yes, yes. What? Calm down.
Did you? Sorry, I got a bit excited. Sorry, because I found out that I'm not actually in my home world, so this is weird. Anyway, did you mention? Because I blacked out for a second there. Did you mention the codex thing, the Eclipse codexy thing?
No.
Is that
Oh,
like
sorry,
Codex?
So we've heard some mutterings while we were going through the Shadowfell of this of this weapon called the Eclipse Codex. Codex, I believe, is a book. Don't know how a book can be a weapon, but fair enough. It's the rumours that we've heard are that this book actually was used to banish the Shrouded Lord before. We're not sure if it's able to do it again, and we're not sure if the Shrouded Lord has it already. Eclipse Codex,
But if
Eclipse
he-
Tower is sort of putting two and two together, really.
If he doesn't,
Callum
then
from his
that would
corner.
be-
Go on, Fletch.
that would be an important artifact to have. It could turn the balance of power.
Callum from his corner is going to wander back over and go, you know what? This whole Planar Detective Agency thing's really, really good. These folks have discovered more in, a month than you lot have discovered since I went to the Feywild and got trapped there. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, the DM gave him loads of fucking notes, didn't he? On what to say. That's
I'll have you know, it's actually Roger that holds all of my notes. On his card.
Yeah, it's on my card.
Okay,
We're playing the
so
campaign on hard. You two have got it on fucking easy mode. That's what's happening.
It is true. It is true.
so let me just chair guy, I would love to later tonight have a conversation with you about some stuff to do with religious based things, but we can talk about that later. However, a couple of things we need to touch upon. First of all, yeah, the domination of multiple reigns, yeah, we kind of assumed that this shit was multiversal at this point. Because we've seen different elemental things, different portals. We assumed that it spanned more than just this plane. The portals being strategic, we had worked that out. The Rosalynn and Thalissa thing, not surprising. The Eclipse Codex is something that I feel like we would be able to acquire. We are actually headed to the Crystalline Isle where that Azure Pillar is, which is on that ley line and possibly could be a place where we could open a portal, maybe get in, get out, perform some sort of
Great shot. Yeah.
like a Seas 13 heist style thing, and go in there, get in and get out kind of vibe. But the thing I'm most interested about that you said, because we've been thinking by us shutting down Shadowfell portals, we're like kind of cornering them in the Shadowfell a little bit more. You mentioned Moonwell as being another realm that they actually inhabit. Would you say that, based on your guys' information and knowledge, that they exist more in the Shadowfell or more in Moonwell?
Shrouded Lord, I think, is more in the Moonwell. I think that's where the Eclipse Tower was.
Which
that
is
in the Shadowfell?
in the Shadowfell, I believe.
Mm.
Yes, it's a realm within the Shadowfell.
It's
or
like
a domain.
kingdom.
I don't know.
It's like a fight.
Yeah, like a kingdom. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Growing in power, it's getting stronger. There is a great deal of suffering in Moonwell. That
It's like a
suffering.
dreaded domain.
Cavan, Lex, and Edgius, roll me a history check, please.
Come on, be good. 14.
14.
Did you
It's a
say
15.
history, Matt?
15. Yes, history check, please.
Cool. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All of you then with that almost talk of domains and gaining power, there's a moment where your memory flashes back to your not so distant past, an icy domain that you existed in, where Lex especially, the lord of that domain, had described a dwindling of power within the Feywild and the domains within the Feywild, caused by an upset imbalance of power. That's what I'm going to leave you with.
Fuck a doodle do.
Moonwell is draining power from whatever it touches and consolidating that power into fell magics to do something we have yet to find out, but it cannot be good for any other realm.
That explains
The Raven
why it's weaker in the
Queen is-
Feywild and the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
And even powers within the within the Shadowfell are diminished because of this consolidation of power. It's bleeding off energy and using it to feed itself. It seems to me.
The Shrouded Lord, would you say that he's a... Because what I'm understanding is this spread of power. First of all, is it like a blight? Or like, some sort of like plague? You say everything it touches, it consumes and begins absorbing. Is that almost like it's actually spreading? Or do you mean more metaphorically and of like the more troops they acquire, the more land that they acquire, it's plaguing, polluting the lands? Because you speak in this old-timey way, Chair Dude, and it's like riddles upon riddles. I'm trying to work through it. Give me, break it down for me.
At this point,
The Moonwell
Takami will
itself.
get up. Sorry, folks. Takami will get up at this point, and she's just going to go, sorry, Kevin, just give me 1 minute. And she's going to walk up and just clip Edgius across the top of the back of his head. He's got a fucking name, all right? Stop being so fucking rude.
I said his name? What the fuck?
No, you didn't. Stop
Oh,
calling him
it's-
Chair Dude, right? It's Ottoman. Just have some fucking
that
respect,
not-
honestly. He's just saved your ass.
I bow a polite bow to Takami, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Takami, she'll bow.
I continue and say the Moonwell is itself a blight in which the Shrouded Lord dwells, and it grows with more power that it drains off from other realms and the souls of the dead that do not make it to the land of death. That is my theory.
And that
So,
stacks
like-
up. That stacks up. Feywild is and Shadowfell has actually been corrupting Fey portals, which is how we came to know this. And then from what you're saying about the Raven Queen, God, I'm just worried about my own realm now.
It's like these incursions type thing. So, I've witnessed some of them. They're like this catastrophic event that sort of ruins the local ecosystems around the place. They're not the best thing. So I don't know if these incursions are, like you say, these fey portals that have been corrupted or anything like that, but they're definitely something that needs to be prepared for, no matter what world you're from. It looks like anywhere can be sort of targeted, and it seems the Shrouded Law can get anywhere.
Let me ask you guys this. Based on your estimation, it sounds you said you'd spent some time at Moonwell. You've traveled the area. Can you give us an approximation on how long we kind of have before, by the sounds of it, I don't know, Armageddon or cataclysmic end? What are we looking at? Would you guys have an idea of how much time we have?
I do not. I know that there is suffering and sorrow within that realm, and it spreads. How quickly that cancer will consume all else, I cannot say.
Fuck, Lex. Do you think it's worth us going across to the Shadowfell and dealing with shit over there? It feels like, there's pertinent issues over here, but, from what he's saying, there's suffering, there's,
I feel like if
I don't
anyone
know.
wants to know what the Eclipse Codex is, or where it might be, or how to get hold of it, it's going to be the leader
Crystalline
of the
Isle.
Crystalline Circle on the Crystalline Isle, yeah. They're the most powerful mages I know. And it's on the convergence of ley lines, so if we do need to go to the Shadowfell, we're literally going to be where the Eclipse Tower would be on the reverse side.
Let me
I
ask
can
you guys.
I'll try and convene with Primus and find out if Mechanus has been affected by these portals. Garnet, you said you weren't from this realm, right? Where are you from?
I'm from this the continent I'm from is called Faerun. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Well, I'm originally from the Feywild. Apparently, I don't know about it, but I was brought up in Waterdeep, and yeah, so
Wait, the
yeah,
water was deep
I'm
where
not
you were?
from. Sorry,
Like it flooded where you were born?
no. There's just lots and lots of water around, and it's very very deep. So the really creative people, they're these wizards that sit on the coast. They just called it Waterdeep.
Oh, I've heard of them. They're on the
like
west
Garnet,
coast,
make me a
right?
history
In a
check,
place
please.
called California.
History check. Oh, hang on. What's my history?
Yeah, please.
That's a 16.
A 16. You were born in the Feywild. You spent a lot of time wandering to and from the Feywild and wandering all over the place. Every time you visit I'm going to add to Garnet's backstory here just because I fucking feel like it. Every time you've visited the Feywild, there is a particular individual that you always seem to cross. A fellow... not a fellow orc, but a hobgoblin who carries a strange whip at their side and spent a lot of time writing a book. And you know this individual as Bothrid, a strange druid that just seems to exist in the Feywild every time you enter there.
Yeah,
For everyone else who
Water
doesn't,
magic.
he's a character from campaign 1. That's why I look so giddy.
yeah. I had this friend that I'd go see in the Feywild whenever I wandered in there called Bothrid, hobgoblin. Strange. I used to be. He said to me that I looked like I could have been a hobgoblin at some point. Probably was. I don't know. The amount of times I travel through different planes of existence and stuff, my genetic makeup has probably been changed a couple of times. But hey ho. But yeah. So
You see Callum's eyes sort of go up. You said hobgoblin, yes?
yeah.
I think I may have known this fellow once.
It's
He
such a
saved
small
him when he was
world,
a kid.
even though it's a multiverse.
Well, he
Um,
kind of saved my life and kind of destroyed that. Let's not get into my backstory. You're all that ignore me. I'm going to go and, I don't know, swing my dick around.
Classic.
fuck.
I say to Kami, look, they're just deep into this, and I've got Moro here, and I've got a message that I got to listen to. They're not even going to notice me. Just step away. I'm going to just step away, and maybe there's some info from Mara. I don't know that might have to do with this.
I didn't want to interrupt them, but like, where the fuck do we go? How do we get out of here?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get to that. And I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just be right back. I'm just gonna have a quick listen to what Mora has said to me, and I just kind of scooch away in as subtle way as possible. To those guys are just absolutely Q&A in the whole thing, and really kind of into it. So I doubt that they would even notice that I just stepped behind a tree. And
behind a tree. You step behind a pillar.
Indoors?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Step behind a pillar. Step behind a pillar indoors. And and I just kind of stroke Morrow, and I say, "Speak to me. What's going on?"
With that, the eye flashes purple, and the beak opens, and you hear Mara's voice. It just says, "My love, so quickly you already contact me, but it is good to hear your voice, nonetheless. Hopefully Moreau is serving you well. As for my ring size, L. Specifically. I hope you are okay. I've tried not to use Moreau to spy, but, well, my nature, it's difficult not to look at where you are. Stay safe, my love. I look forward to your return." And with that, Morrow's beak closes, and that purple sort of gleam in the eye just... And
I say to
Morrow
Morrow,
shakes its head and just sort of...
I'm like, is there a part two? Any intel, Mara? Fuck. Don't send that. Don't. That's not what I was. That's not what I was sending back. It was just there's a rhetorical. Yeah. Can I just hit? Is there a button that I could hit, Morrow, just to see if there's more to this, or is that it? Fuck. Why am I talking to this raven?
Cock its head at you.
Okay. It's good to hear her voice. Fucking awesome to hear her voice. But I'm not going to have info to deliver back, am I? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to... And I just stroke Morrow and I say, I'm going to keep you around for a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit more tactical, sending some information back and forth. And I step back around the pillar just to observe how the conversation's progressed.
I'm looking directly at you. I have a passive perception of 19, so I just glance over and see you come back and then just carry on with the conversation. I don't hint that I saw you do that.
Ducked around behind a pillar with the raven, started talking to the raven in a one-sided conversation, and Garnet's just there looking...
Staring him down.
I talk to my rat like that.
Yeah, it's been watching, and it's been super, super helpful for us. Actually, well, no, I don't want to butt in. It's just that your rat seems like a wealth of information, and not sure if there's anything that we haven't asked that might be... No, I'm not going to ask that. Y'all just carry on. But if your rat did have something to offer up, the guys would probably find that helpful.
I mean, if you decided that you wanted to go through the Shadowfell, then I can help guide you. Garnot's terrible at directions, so would get you lost, but I can point you in the right direction. I don't normally point him in the right direction because it's normally fun where we go, so...
So you could draw us a map to the Eclipse Tower, or whatever it's called.
I could do better than draw you one. Goes into the armor, comes back out, pulls out a map.
That's a map of the Shadowfell.
Of the Moonwell.
Yeah. Well, the Moonwell, yeah.
Can we have that?
I don't know, DM. Can I give it to him?
You can if you wish. If not, Jewel is just there. If not, I can make a copy.
You can take it, and the map is
copy.
actually tiny size, so you can take it.
This big.
It's a little tiny.
A stamp,
Can you
yeah.
scale it up a bit? Yeah. Awesome.
Might want to magnify
just there,
glass
like,
that.
I think I can work with this. Give me 20 minutes.
So, my line of thought that I've just come back to is, we all have connections to different realms, right, and different deities. So I think, Kevin, you need to check with Paragon. I'll check with Primus. Edges, you need to check with the Ferryman. and maybe the Moon Lady. Jewel needs to check with the Watcher in the astral plane to see how much influence the Shrouded Lord is encroaching into their worlds, to know how much time we probably have left to stop this guy. Because if Paragon's realm is dwindling and Primus is on his ass and the astral plane is fucked, then we've already lost, right?
Well, one thing we can consider is that we'll have a lot of allies that are all working towards the same goal. If that is a bonus, you should leverage that. We should be able to, if you have all these contacts, you should be able to leverage some information, find out about this codex, the Eclipse Codex. Maybe you can find out where the locations of some of these other portals may be. At least we'll have some resources to draw off of.
I suppose the question becomes, we were going to the Crystalline Isle next, right? Now we have it confirmed that there's a Shadowfell portal in Rosingdom and Thalisser. Do we need to go there first to shut that shit down before we seek help from the Crystalline Isle? I know we go off on side quests all the time, but is this what we need to do?
It's a good question. I think...
Or do we need more
I don't
intel
want to
from
bring
the
this up
Crystalline
again,
Isle
but
first?
you want to go to these places. We currently can't get the fuck out of this chamber.
To Kami,
that is the dragon in the room. Yeah.
To Kami, we are truly covering so much ground right now. If we stop this ball rolling, it's going to be another like 6 to 8 months before we get anywhere with this. So we need to just keep this ball. But no, I agree. Let's go find.
You sit and play with your balls. It's fine.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because it seems like
no, wait, that's a personal question. I shouldn't ask that.
I've checked. He does not have them. I can answer that.
I do not, sadly, at the moment have them. I would love to,
that is
though I do not.
What?
Look. Okay. Look. I think. The more I look at this, you guys seem to have some sort of knowledge. I'm not sure, Ottoman, you mentioned that you've been tracking the King Killer. I don't know what you being on this side of that portal does for you. Same for you, Garnet. I mean, you sound more like a nomadic. Maybe this realm would be fun for you to explore for a little bit. But my thought is this, why don't we go get a place to stay for the night? Why don't we all continue chatting and learning about what we can from one another? And then, Lex, could we maybe reopen a portal for Ottoman tomorrow and get him back through so that if he wants to go back through, he can do? Unless you have stuff to do here in this plane, Ottoman.
I take a minute to think about that, and I say, let us find a place to rest. It has been long since I slept without the nightmares. I will decide my fate soon.
So at this point, as there's a little bit of a pause, Morrow just sort of flexes their wings and stretches, and a feather just comes loose and catches in whatever faint breeze there is around here and just floats through the air and settles in the pool of blood next to Ebenclaw's draconic corpse, and almost just seems to float around this pool like a boat on a lake.
It's a fucking omen.
No, I thought your name was
it's a feather.
I look at that, and I'm gonna meditate on that one, and when I get a chance.
Awesome stuff. I'll say in that moment then, because we come to a bit of a natural pause, let's take a short break, and then we will reconvene. Right. Hopefully figure out a way out of this portal, and then decide what to do next. So we will be back in a few minutes. Thanks.
All right.
Hey. Dave is here. Hi, he's hobbled up the stairs.
You should have seen me. It literally like stares. Just what the hell? Like that. That's not fun at the moment.
I mean, I feel like that on a normal day, to be honest, mate. So.
Yeah, you weren't crawling up them, so.
No, bless you. Bless you. Well, welcome, Dave. Welcome back. I'm glad you've made it for the second half. You join us as the party have had a lot of revelations within this chamber. The other thing we didn't catch up on in the break is the fact that as the Shadowfell portal was closed by Lex, all of the braziers went out and it was plunged into darkness. Edgius, with his perception, was able to feel his pocket getting warm, but also notice with his dark vision that this marble sort of area in the centre of the room had cracked and a mound of earth had begun to grow. Edgius then planted one of his, or the final seed that he was gifted from Nimue, and a bush has grown with these orange moonflowers on it, and then all the braziers suddenly sparked up again with a pure white light. There is still this sort of, as you every now and again catch it, there is still like this shaft of moonlight of sorts, but as you look up, it's coming out of nowhere. You are in an underground cavern. I think everything else you've been caught up on during the break. So I will now hand over to the full party around what is going on. What are we doing next? Where are we going? What are we talking about? Who's doing what?
Lex, have you looked at the portal edges and signified that it's definitely a one-way only to where it was before, or not?
No, I haven't. Oh, you mean if it was corrupted from something else?
Yeah, I'm only saying that purely from the description of whatever the hell just happened in the room. Was this place originally someone else's?
Oh, no, I haven't, actually. That's a really good idea.
Imagine Jules said all of that.
Yeah. Jewel just sort of snaps out of it. So,
You did.
do you know what?
I mean, I closed it, but it's worth checking. As I was closing it, did it feel like it was a corrupted portal of something else, and that's why it didn't work as well first time, or was it just... Actually, no, it was a Shadowfell portal. It was just a really powerful one.
It was definitely a powerful Shadowfell portal. For the first time, as well, as you look against this wall, it is just stone. It's not like there's a marker of any sort to denote this is where a portal should be, despite what there was on the map. That was just me sticking a thing there so we knew where the portal was. But actually, as you look at this back wall now, it just looks like solid stone. If you would like to investigate said stone, you may absolutely do so.
Yeah, I've been kind of walking around as well, just having a curious stroll and kind of laying my hands across the wall and just trying to see if there's any obvious egress area that we may have missed.
I am assuming...
So you're doing this specifically over the area where the portal was, Kevin? Or you just going around?
I'm just having a little bit of a wander around, kind of around this circumference, the inside of the circumference of the room.
Okay. Let's deal with the back wall. Go on.
Yeah. As Lex is walking up to it, then Lex, is it a reasonable assumption to think that that amulet, that bracelet, pendant was very much connected, if not the source of this portal?
I think, well, the reason it's in my trinket box is I think it can be used as a key to open a portal again. Yeah. The Onyx is very similar to the Onyx key I used to close the portal. So I think we could use it as a portal key.
Oh, I am glad we have it then.
Okay. Lex, if you're investigating the back wall, make me an investigation check. Kevin, I'm going to ask you to make me an investigation check as well.
I'm
going to give you advantage, though, because you're literally going around the whole circumference and this room is now lit up. So Kevin gets advantage.
I only got an 11.
Straight roll. Only got
11.
Okay.
I've got a investigation, a 17.
17. So, Kevin, you get so far around the room, and the stone, as you're feeling it, then turns to metal work, and you sort of clear your eyes from the glow that's behind you, and you can see a wooden and metal, maybe stone and metal door, double door. It's huge. As you work your hands over it, there is a feeling of some form of symbol in it, but without actually having some light on it, you're going to struggle with this. Lex, as you then sort of look at the back wall, with an 11, the only thing you notice is that where you thought this was onyx, the rock in this back wall has faint blue and purple veins running through it, which you now realise is
Wrathstrike. Would I know that to be the key to another portal, given the portal book I've got? Or could it be
Make me a
the
history
key to
check,
this
please.
realm? Oh, I better roll good this time. I'm going to use my inspiration, my heroic inspiration. 16. That's a bit better.
16. So you've never heard of Wrathstrike being used as a portal key as such. Not to say it couldn't be, but you would know Wrathstrike as that. And as you now sort of focus back on the room and think about the fight, where you've got pure mana crystals in this room as well, this Wrathstrike is an impure form of a mana stone or a mana crystal. It is inherently magical. The properties are unbound.
Obviously, it's pretty
out.
obvious to everybody, but this is a powerful room, right? I mean, the mana crystals, the raw version of it there, Wrathstrike in the walls. This is a room of immense power, which makes sense why the portal would be opened here, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I turn around at the door and I just say, "Hey, I know Lex is probably making progress over there, but just a heads up, there's a door frame thing here with some. It's not a pure door, but it's a door-like thing."
What the
I'll
fuck?
turn to Kevin and be like, "Yeah, coming. I'm gonna quickly pluck one of the flowers from the bush, and I'll put it into a little book that I have. I'll like press it almost into a little book. Slide that book back into my pocket, and then I want to go over and just loot dead homie's bisected lower half and see if I can get any more boot change from that motherfucker."
Yeah, I'll give you the. In fact, make me an investigation check then, please.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh,
That's
beauty.
fucking brilliant. So
For
you
a 30.
find a coin pouch for a 30. Shit the bed. You find a coin pouch with 100 gold pieces in it. But you also find a ring of keys.
A
key ring, if you like.
Oh,
Yeah, not a magic
I
item,
thought you
like
meant
a ring of
I
keys.
thought it was a
ring of
magic item.
keys.
Yeah, I was like, it can like unlock any door.
I
No,
was,
okay,
I
so-
was
Open
right
any
there
door,
with you,
yeah, that's it.
Bodhi, on that one. I thought, oh great, it's like some sort of like ring that does the lock spell or something.
Nah, it's not a skeleton
key
key.
ring.
It is literally a ring with a shit ton of keys on it.
Not
Okay,
the key.
are
Not,
any of the
it's
keys
not the
labeled?
key to the city.
Fuck's sake.
No, the keys are absolutely not labelled.
Okay, beautiful. So, and 100 gold pieces.
One just says Union
Gorgeous.
City on it.
Gorgeous. I will slide the pouch into my boot.
DM, this cavern, cave we're in, does it look man-made or more dug out of the ground?
It is too circular to be natural. It is almost perfect in its circular formation.
Then can Jewel go over with Cavern and see, because that seems to be the more crafted area. He's looking at this door-esque area. Does it have any similarities to the... I think it was some sort of crypt or something that Jewel helped steal from. I.e., I'm looking for, are there any similarities in the architecture? Are we in any way related to that castle or manor?
Are you going way back to episode 3?
No. Sorry. So, what's his name? Was it Cassian Vale? Who was this guy who?
Right.
Who
So you're going back to origin story.
So
right,
origin stories. Stole a thing out of like a crypt or safe or as in whatever that was.
Stolen out of a safe room, if you like, within a mansion complex. Actually, so the architecture down here is absolutely vastly different.
Fine.
But given you've now moved across, do you give me an investigation check?
While he's doing that, he'll have noticed that I take 5 steps back and make a full dash run to shoulder this thing open.
Here he goes.
I stop Cavan. I grab Cavan by the shoulder as he goes to sprint, and I jingle a ring of keys in front of you and go, I think we can do this easier.
Good point. Real good point.
I'm gonna play this out, because even though Edgius goes to grab Cavan, Cavan's a barbarian and a paladin. The strength is through the roof. Edgius, your arm detaches, still attached to the back of Cavan as Cavan is and thunk against this. What now he discovers to be a solid stone and metalwork door.
Jewel gets, her whiskers flutter as you slam into this door because she got close to the door to check it with a 24.
My shoulder's sore than your ankle right now, Jewel. Yeah.
Jewel canonically roll her
At this
ankle
point,
during
then, Jewel, the 24 as you
Yeah.
look with your dark vision and sort of then begin to feel around. There is definitive symbol work in this door. And you keep feeling the same sort of symbol etched into it, and that is of a crescent moon. You also then feel at a certain point with a 24 and find a keyhole.
There you go.
Edgius, did you say you had some keys?
Edgius will be like, yeah, I'll trade you some keys for an arm.
She goes, what? And then just immediately glances the arm, just picks it off Cavan's shoulder and lobs it back.
Wafting around on the back of Cavan's.
Give me my arm back.
And I'll chuck you the ring of keys.
So yeah, cool. I'll start trying them. Interestingly, there are crescent moon symbols around this door. By the way, everyone, which would seem fitting considering what you just did, Edgius.
Hey, Edgius, try and talk to the moon lady. See if she knows what the fuck's going on.
Right now?
Right? Didn't that have a symbol of the moon on it? The key?
I'm gonna look at Takami, and then I'm gonna look back at Lex and be like, right now, Lex?
Yeah, why would that be weird?
What's this got to do with me?
It's nothing at all. It's not the super awesome moon lady or anything. But
I mean, she happens to be very attractive, but I don't see what that's got to do with anything. There was a weird sexual tension between. Oh, I'll stop talking.
Hey,
I've just realised.
Hello, roll together. Thank you for joining us. Familiar face yet again.
How did you get that quick?
Literally is the flash. Just
Edgius will go back to the center of the room and be like, moon goddess, Nimue.
Nimue.
As the room erupts.
I imagine the party is doing this in the background.
Literally, in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Wee.
Anything?
As you wander back across.
No, and then I begin singing, and the rest of the party begins joining in, and we, in in unison, hopefully chant her into existence. I believe is what happened.
Yeah, we're on our way, man. We're doing good.
Make me a religion check, please, and I will give you advantage considering everybody is singing shit right now. But while we're doing that, thank you very much for the raid. Thank you for the follow as well. That is amazing stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome. We are in the middle of a cavern trying to get out, and I don't mean cavern as in Cavern Buckland. We're in the middle of an underground cavern.
But also, Kevin was trying to get out, and he can't get out of the cavern. So
I've
gone
Cavern stuck in the
cross-eyed.
cavern.
That is an 18, Matt.
An 18. As you wander up then and you sing, what is it you're specifically trying to convey with your song?
I guess like I did what she asked. Like usually a deal ends with a conclusion. I guess a conclusion to why I've been a vessel for her, maybe. And how do we get out this room? Would be a nice tack on.
Right. In that moment then, as you wander up and finally sort of think, I did something here. That thin shaft of moonlight disappears and the flowers surge with light. The braziers surge with light. You notice these veins of light and veins of white energy that just bleed across the whole of the ground of this cavern before they eventually begin to bend up towards that Wrathstrike wall where the portal was. And they begin to etch themselves into the wall itself, and where there was nothing but rock and stone, the outline, almost like line art of a face, appears, and you see the outline of the moonlit enchantress etched into this stone now. White lines that outline the hair, the perfect face, the eyes, the nose, down to the shoulders, and the symbol of a moon, crescent moon on her forehead.
Jewel will turn
Get
to
down
Lex
and pray,
and say, quietly, and just be like, "So, last place we went to with significance was under a temple. You think what I'm thinking, Lex?" We'll say that quietly.
What do you think when the... I'll say back in your head, the catacombs of a moon temple? Question mark.
Cataclysm? Is that like cataclysm and catacomb mixed?
Yeah, exactly what. Exactly that.
I have added a cataclysm in my catacombs before.
Get the clue.
Everyone else let it go, Matt. Everyone else let it go. We're moving past it.
After all the shit you give me, I need to give some back. So good.
Yeah. What does that just do?
Oh, I guess I'll walk up to the face and be like, "Oh, great moon lady, Nimue, what foretell you, face of the stone?"
I think with that, even the goddess in her realm is just there, like, what? But there is again a whisper.
I turn to Ottoman and look at him and be like, almost like to be like, I use some of your language. Like, you gave me like a hint.
I just look at you and don't even move my head at all or blink my eyes. I'm just staring you down.
We're gonna be good friends. We're gonna be good friends. I can tell. I'll let back to him.
So anybody again with a passive perception above 10 would hear a whisper. Your quest is complete. My power here cemented.
That's good.
The Moonwell Sanctum lives once again. There is light that just surges through these lines on the floor, this crack. This moonlight seems to now just emanate permanently within this room. All of you feel this... It's almost unfathomable in terms of this shift that you feel. But even those who aren't necessarily magically inclined, there has been a shift in the world. Something fundamental about the whole world has just changed.
Wow.
It's the tide. It's the tide.
Yeah, listen, Edgius, you have done well by your patron here. You have earned a boon from your patron. It seems as though you've brought this back into her purview, and that must mean something more than you can understand at this moment. That's pretty good.
Or all the tides have just gone out and every woman has just got a period. You know, either way.
Cats are going mental. They're scratching up at trees, and everything's just going completely nuts.
Werewolves everywhere.
Just absolutely. Like, even ones who were just, people who were just scratched and never turned to suddenly just go.
I will say, Edgius, your pocket burns again where you took that flower. And each of those flower petals, where they were orange, now glows with this white ambient moonlight effect. The flowers on the bush all turn to this white ambient moonlight effect. You now have something in your possession which you have no idea what it does.
Cool.
Smoke it.
Dude, get out of my head. I will bow as best as Edgius can, and will.
I mean, he's not got sciatica. We're all good.
Yeah. It's it's just he doesn't do it much. He's a free
ligaments to
spirit.
stop you.
I just fold. I'll just be like, I don't know what just happened. Something happened. I hope to God you haven't been tricking me like the other toll lady from the Fae, because that would have totally sucked. But thanks for your time, and I'm gonna take a couple more of these plants, because now that I have a couple of these things, like, they seem like they're important. So I'm gonna just nab me one or two more of those, and we'll be out. Can you show us the exit out of here, possibly, Spirit?
I will say then, you manage to, as you walk over to the bush and try to pull the flower, most of the flowers don't come off, but one does, and actually the one that you already have in your hand and the second one you pull off, they almost just disintegrate, and you are left with 6 petals in your hand. In fact, I'll say 10 petals in your hand.
Okay.
Anybody with a passive perception over 10 hears the whisper. In thanks for your efforts, throw these in times of need and harness the power of the moon. You now have 10 petals of the moonflower, which you can use to throw, and wherever they land, it will cast the moonbeam spell.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah, come on.
he's going to do that in the pub tonight.
good.
For fuck's sake.
He's going to
Just 10 of them.
Yeah,
He's going to use it as that spotlight when he's on
100
stage.
DMs.
Like,
that's right.
Dude, you knew it. Dude, you so
We'll
knew
get
it.
invited to a wedding, and he'll use it as confetti, and then the bride and groom just fucking
Just incinerate.
just burn.
Just
It was,
burn
it's
them
that,
the
I
fuck,
just
yeah.
had School of Rock in my head, where it was just a thin beam of light. Some fire.
Exactly. I've got 10 of them,
Anybody
so I
else
got
concerned
so
that
many
there's a voice in our
spotlights.
head?
Oh, no, that
that
was
is
the lady
actually
on the
quite a
waiting
regular
garment.
occurrence when you were around us. Just get used to it, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough.
Should we
So,
door?
Zed meets we've restored her power here. We've diminished the Shrouded Lord's power here, and that's a tick in the win column for us.
Yeah. It seems like.
Hey, how about we use that sending stone and we say, one less under your control. Haha, you lose.
You have a way to communicate with the Shrouded Lord?
I forgot we did, but apparently no. It's the
no, it's not the Shrouded
Lord. It's a
Lord.
sending stone to Shadow Thorn, isn't it?
Yes. Hey, it's
Yeah,
one of the
stone to Shadow Thorn.
It's one of the Trinity or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Triumvirate.
Triumvirate.
It's a difficult word to say, isn't it? We've just been saying
it's an even harder to remember.
What the red one said.
Well, like, that's an interesting idea. Do you want to tip your hand that we have thwarted you? We killed Ebenclaw and closed this portal and brought it back into the realm of where it should be. So take that. Is that
well,
like that caused them to react? And causing them to react might make them.
Unless if they don't know where one went down, they just know if one went down. If they even know that, then we don't really want to say it was here. Come and claim it. Might be a bit.
Yeah. We currently can't get out of this place, so we don't really want them to know we're here in case they come and get us, right?
Well, I
fuck them. Bring it here. We'll kill them. We'll kill them here.
I like this.
Okay, we can always tell them and then ask what the way out is.
Or perhaps when they come in, they will open the door and we can get out.
There we go.
Interesting.
What does the rat think we should do? He seems to be the
let's ask the rat.
Have any of these keys worked, by the way?
I think that's a stupid idea.
When Jules sees the rat, what happens? Does her eyes go
The voice
red
of fucking
sheeps?
reason.
Yeah. Can we have a scene
So
where
at
Jules
this
says
point,
the rat
yeah, I imagine, Jewel, you've been trying the keys and eventually just one goes in and these doors are now able, between Cavan and yourself, just sort of you push them outwards and you find this polished marble staircase that leads up and bends round to the right.
Ottoman.
See,
you
the
were
cat
just
did
saying,
the smart thing, and that's a bloody cat. And then
Can we have a Tom and Jerry based episode for just these two now, please?
I'm going to get like little shit.
What is that, Edges?
You mentioned, that we might have increased her power here and diminished the Shrouded Lords, but I don't know. I just have this kind of scary feeling that, though we might have diminished the Shrouded Lord, that doesn't mean we didn't just expand her territory, which, don't get me wrong. Now that the fact that you know about the Shrouded Lord wanting to do this domination of multiple realms, as you put it, I assume the word has got out. Now, why wouldn't that activate other people to try and accomplish the same thing in a shorter amount of time in hopes that they can achieve exactly what he is? If I was a demi-planar being like the Shrouded Lord or this people, and I found out about that, why wouldn't they? Who knows if Nimue simply enlisted me to give her access here, simply to expand her own territories as opposed to actually diminishing that of the Shrouded Lord. I'm just afraid.
Well, I guess we do not know. But we cannot fear what might happen. We can only react to what does happen. It seems a good omen when you have a boon given to you by a patron power. Does not seem evil or malignant to me.
First of
I'm
all,
with
your
Adam
level
and the Seer on this one.
Your lack of anxiety between the two of you is giving me more anxiety than I already had. I think, but I would say that, but here's what I would say. I'm always just concerned that from whatever side you're on, you feel like you're the good guy. And, I know at one point in my life, I thought I was the good guy chasing the bad, and I wasn't. I was doing harm to people around me and to those that I love because I was, and so sometimes it's a matter of perspective is all I'm saying.
But the bad destroyed my family. They destroyed my clan. They destroyed my house. I care not who they worship. I care not what they say is their cause. I care about their destruction. Don't you feel that burning revenge in you?
Oh, fuck.
Okay, this has gone up a notch.
Edgius would feel a level of pain for Ottoman, because he sees a man that he once was, stood next to him as they walk down this hallway, and Edgius will probably just walk on and be like, "Oh, it looks like Cavan's found a way out, Cavan and Jewel. I'll bank it, and I'll look to come back to Ottoman at a time that is more private when we have a chance to chat."
And you saw in my eyes a burning vengeance, a hatred, a cause that will not be stopped, driven by a trauma in the past. And there's no question in your mind that that's what you saw.
That is the most familiar feeling. But yeah, we'll continue walking after whoever's leading the group out of this shenanigan of a fucking shrine.
Very good. You wander up this marble staircase then and sort of turn to the right, and you notice those thin veins of arcane light that now begin to bleed up the stairs as well and provide a little bit of light for you. This staircase has no railing. As you look down, you stare down at nothing but darkness. Thank you again for the second follow. They're all coming through today, so thank you. Yes, these are sheer drops down into darkness. You cannot see down as to where they go. But you follow this round, and eventually as these veins sort of bleed up the stairs, they get a little bit brighter, and the main staircase carries on forward, but there is a side staircase that leads up to the right, and as you look up to the right, you see this stone platform and a cage with 5 individuals locked inside it.
Oh, no. That's what we need, a distraction.
I gotta go straight for it.
Very good.
Yeah, we'll let them out.
I need to go straight for that.
The cage, and as you approach, this weak feminine hand just sort of reaches out. Help us, please.
I'm gonna do a divine sense on them. I'm gonna try to determine what they are. Are they dead? Are they in the nether realms?
Okay, with your divine sense, you do not get a sense of undead, fey, fiend at all. They are alive, barely.
Do we recognize them?
Make me a religion check, everyone.
Darn it! Do you think you can use your like telekinetic stuff to bend the bars or possibly get them out?
Or Ottoman.
I'm going to ask you to make me an investigation check or a perception check.
Yeah, we'll do. Ottoman, please try the keys, but then we'll whisper to you.
Okay.
And just go.
I gotta.
Please make sure that you know you wish to let them out.
All right. I got an 18 on my religion check.
18 in religion.
I got a 1.
A 1. Lex hasn't got a fucking clue.
My religion check was 7, but my investigation was 28.
Okay,
There we go.
Come back to that in a minute. 10 from Edgius. Cavan?
17.
17.
17.
Religion check. And Garnet.
Garnot, not being from this place, rolled very aptly a 5.
Amazing. So Garnet's just happy to be here. Happy to be somewhere new. The wanderlust is starting to sort of feed back into him at this point. Those of you that sort of rolled 15 or above, then you would see figures, or at least 4 out of the 5 figures that are adorned in these pure white robes, all of them female. They each have a symbol of a crescent moon around their necks. And this sort of blonde white hair that flows out from underneath the hood of the robes. They are thin, almost like they've not eaten in a very long time. Anybody that got an 18 or above on their religion check would have heard about an order, a small sect of religious individuals known as the Moon Maidens. Jewel, with your investigation or perception check, the fifth individual you see is not adorned in the same way as the others. They wear this green and gold robe of sorts. Half of their face is covered in this half gold mask, which actually is a snake. And the other side of the face you can see is this dark skin and dark hair. There is a snake wrapped around their arm. Just even its head is sort of just languishing over the shoulder at this point.
Is that quite Serpent's Cloak, or...?
Definitely feels very Serpent Cloak-esque.
Can we... and with that investigation, can she see enough to know that that individual is also slumped and with good reason?
Yeah. They look weak. They definitely look like they have also been imprisoned in here for whatever reason.
Joel will grab Ottoman's arm just as they pass the keys. Wait a minute. There's a member of the Serpent's Cloak in there. And she'll look again and then go, I do not think they have fared as well either. But be on your guard, people. I wish to speak to that person.
Okay. I nod. I acknowledge that you know something about this that I don't. But when you grab a hold of my cloak or my shoulder, I reach a hand over. I grab your hand. I pull it off. And I look at you and say, boundaries.
I'm a fan of healthy boundaries. Yeah, I'm fully on board with this.
Do you not know that cats do not observe personal space?
No,
they don't give a crap
absolutely
about
not.
that. They were like, hi.
Little
Jill
bastards,
shows them
though.
all her asshole and starts kicking it.
I'm starting to learn that, but for the moment, I'm a little cagey of it. So, do we have a look at the lock? Is this a lock that looks poor, or looks like it has a key? Is it some type of? I looked that
Given
over
the fact
and
that Jules
wonder
handed
if we
you the
have a
key ring now,
Okay.
you are fairly quickly able to match a key to the lock. Whether you put that key
Okay.
in said lock is entirely up to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw my sword, and make sure that it rubs against the scabbard very threateningly, and I hold it in one hand, and yeah, that's the sound, and then I unlock the lock, and I open the gate at the door, and I look at the Serpent Cloak one, and I say, "You will stay for now." And I look at the others, assuming that they are connected with the patron that Aegeus seems to have connected with. I let 4 of them pass me, and I stand ground on the 5th, the one in the Serpent Cloak, and I won't let them pass.
Say as you open
And then I look at Jewel.
the door, one of them actually falls towards you weak, and a form just sort of very frail, very light, just falls against you. Thank you. They, even though they are free now, struggle. Their movements are very slow. almost to the point where they're crawling out of this. The fifth individual that you now see with this snake wrapped around their arm and this golden half mask just sort of sits there. I bid you peace. I mean you no harm.
I look to
I have
Jewel.
been a prisoner much like these. Please.
Is that the Serpent's Cloak guy?
That was the Serpent's Cloak individual.
Jewel will get closer, get eye level, and then say, "Go to ground when you know the sky has eyes and the walls have ears."
I knew you were going to fucking do this to me, and I cannot remember what I
I've
wrote
sent it
down
you.
anywhere
I've sent
for
it
that
you.
one. Thank you.
From behind,
Where did
Edgius
you
will
send it?
say to Jewel.
Signal.
Edgius will say to Jewel from behind, "Remember, we're the Planar Detective Agency. We're for everybody."
You will see no malice in
as
what
Jewel
Jewel's
then-
doing.
As Jill
Caution,
speaks this
yes.
phrase, then the individual sort of looks up, and as one of the eyes sort of opens, you notice there is scarring around the edge of that golden mask. As they just look. Interesting. But only then can you pause to breathe.
Are we all friends here?
I have no idea what's going on.
Please.
Any
I
funny
sense there
business?
is.
Any at all? Otherwise, we'll help you. And we'll offer a
These
hand.
ladies to safety. Sort of whispers out in a weak voice, "Get the ladies to safety. They mean no harm. I also mean no harm, but I get the impression. Get the impression my faction does not bode well with you."
We have had a misunderstanding. But let's get you all to safety. But understand our wariness at this time.
Okay. What are we doing with all 5 of these individuals then?
They don't make any threatening moves.
They're all too weak to do. They can barely stand.
I will help assist those that I can. 2 of them.
Would these
Count 2 of
moon
the
maidens
sheathe your
rather
sword.
be in there where we just came from, or do they need to come to the surface with us? Will they draw power from back there, or they just need actual proper nourishment?
So one of them sort of falls to the floor and a hand is on the vein. The Moonwell sanctum lives again.
Yeah.
Take us up. Take us up. Please.
Right.
I have good or bad thing that the sanctum exists again. Can you be a little bit less vague? I know you're tired.
Our temple is named after this place. Please take us back to the sanctuary. Up the stairs.
We 100% will take you. As we're going, we'll be assisting, helping these people go. It just will be like, on a scale of 1 being the worst thing that's ever happened and 10 being like a miracle, where does this temple fall on the spectrum of awesome?
Are you asking this to them or the party?
It's a loaded question. That minute.
The pious woman.
The one that you've sort of got looped around your bony shoulders just sort of looks at you. You are strange. But this is indeed a miracle.
Sick. Cool. Oh, yeah. Carry him out.
Jewel will obviously help the Serpent's Cloak individual out, but keep a close eye on him. But we'll be at the back, behind.
I imagine the
everyone else.
Dusk Dagger is out as well at this point, and you're sort of helping, but the Dusk Dagger is held, and they sort of
He hasn't
look
got a clue
down.
he's that knackered. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but he would probably just sort of. Thank you. I understand the caution.
Save your strength.
The snake. Is the snake with me?
I look over. The snake's there, but
Snake is just languishing on his arm and on his shoulder.
the snake is with you. Come, save your energy.
Okay. And you all slowly make your way further up this marble staircase, which then turns into a spiral staircase. Who's leading the way?
I will be next to Jewel because, well, I want to make sure she's safe with the dodgy fella, but also I want to make sure the snake's okay.
I'm helping two of the acolytes.
Okay.
I'll lead the way.
Very good. So, Kavin, you eventually reach a point where this staircase, which has been a double staircase, just narrows and narrows and narrows down to the point where it's almost a single file, and you reach a stone door. And it's a good thing you're leading in this case, because there's a moment where you do have to sort of give it a little bit of a shoulder shove, and eventually you manage to shove open this door when you look upon an altar and out into a temple, where hanging from the ceiling is this giant bronze crescent moon symbol, if you like, hanging from the ceiling with a number of candles that burn across it as a chandelier of sorts. And as then Ottoman and Garnet follow, one of those moon maidens just looks up. Nimue, bless us all. And she collapses.
Well, that's a trip for you to the clerics.
Is this just a matter of lack of food, or is it a matter of just injury that they're so weak from?
It's weakness. They've been starved
Okay.
to the point where they are now weak.
So is it
Can I,
sort of this, whereas
okay.
if I was to cast aid on them, it wouldn't really help in terms of hit points because they just need some bread?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it would still give them life force and vitality, so it may help.
I'll
But
cast
that
it
is
on
a-
twice
Break out
because then I can cover. Unless you're going to lay some hands on them consensually.
They're in a good position where they couldn't say no anyway. So, but anyway, that was very
Oh dear.
incorrect to say.
Boundaries.
Temple.
Yeah.
Correct.
Temple.
I'm going to give them
Well, I'll
food
stop the
first.
religious person touching somebody inappropriately.
Exactly. I'm going to give them food.
This is the
I'm going to
opposite
give
now.
them, break out some rations and some water, and see if that kind of satiates their weakness.
I'll
And
do
I
aid
think
twice
as you
then
bring
at
all
second level, cover all of them.
Amazing. As you bring all four of these moon maidens up and the rations are laid, they do slowly sort of begin to eat, and there's a moment where one of them gets a little bit over exuberant with it and sort of throws up in that moment where they know they need to eat little from here. Like, overindulgence is not the right way forward here.
Wow, they've been...
The member of the Serpent's Cloak, as you bring them up, Jewel, and sort of just pull, they just slump on the stairs that lead up to this altar and... Water, please. Water.
I'm also including him and the snake in my aid.
Amazing stuff. As you include then the snake and him in the air, the snake just sort of, its head finally just lifts up. And that forked tongue just...
You're welcome.
I lay the Serpent's Cloak guy down, grab my moleskin and we'll hand that over. Drink slowly. Do not gulp it.
I turn around and I see all this happening, and turn back around and just am observing this altar. We've been in altars before that have turned into really sketchy situations, so I cast Divine Sense just to see if I can get any and also like maybe try to tap into a little bit of Paragon here to help with the aura of this room and see if it is as those behind me think it is or not.
Very good. With your divine sense, you don't sense anything untoward. There's no fiends, fae, undead. However, given the fundamental shift that's just happened, you almost get that vertigo feeling for a moment as you tap into divine power, and there is new divine power in this particular temple. It almost feels like you get turned upside down and then back around again, and your head spins for a moment, but then Paragon's voice sounds through. Careful, Cavan. The Enchantress lives again. Let her power settle before you try too much.
I turn to see where Lex is. Yeah. I turn to see where Lex is and where Aegeus is. And I considered just telling them what just ran through my head, but I think I'm going to wait for a little bit until we can just get a few more minutes of understanding this altar. And I'll tell them in a quiet moment.
Cool. What should we do with these people? Should we take them to an authority or some sorts and get them some help? Do we stay here for the night? I mean, like I'm not sure, Ottoman and Garna, whether you guys have any accommodation near here, but we currently have not booked any land B&Bs recently. So
it almost seems like this would be a safe place to stay, and we could also see what these 5 individuals do as they slowly return to some strength.
Are there any windows to outside? Is it night, day?
I'm glad you've asked this, because I think now and especially as Cavan sort of looks back to this altar, there are a number of windows, but also open out to the sky as this oculus of sorts. Moonlight just shined straight down onto you all right now. We are indeed in the middle of the night. You have lost an afternoon by being unconscious and then waking up in the sanctum. So yes, middle of the night. The Moon Maiden that is sort of there, just sort of, who's the most conscious at this point, says, "We thank you. We will be fine now. Our strength will return, but we need to be here."
May we stay and not and consider this sanctuary for us also?
You have returned the sanctum to power. The Moonwell Sanctuary is as much a home to you as it is to us. Please, make yourselves at home. Edge, you feel a deep sense of calm in this place as well. There's just an uncanny sense of calm.
And it might be worth, when we bed down for the night, telling the sorry I didn't catch your name, Serpent's Cloak guy, about the treachery jewel of Mr. Cassian to report back to his
Right.
organization.
I was waiting for you to get
Cassian dead?
a little bit more strength, but yes, Cassian is dead. How did you know him, and what was your connection to him?
Right.
He is a power-hungry usurper. Fell in with the wrong lot.
He made it.
You ask my name.
Yes.
My name is Abaya.
Obaya.
Abaya Inoue. And I am the
That's
true leader of the Serpent's Cloak.
familiar.
Nice.
Hang on. This is the head honcho of the whole Serpent's Cloak. This is the head of the snake.
Yes, it
It
is.
fucking
And he's
is
in a
as well.
fucking
And the
basement.
whole Dave just going, this sounds familiar.
That
Yes, it will
sounds
sound familiar to you and Danny.
I'm glad we didn't push him off the stairs. Fucking hell.
Mother trucker. Then yeah, there would be like a stunned silence from Jewel for a moment. Just
We need a sound drop that's
You
like
notice
a light
now
bulb
in the
flicking on.
lights. You notice now in the lights that the hair where you thought is dark, but there are greys and whites that now shine through it. This individual is old. You now look upon them and you can see within this moonlight, yes, the golden mask is there, and the golden mask is there to cover a number of scars. Callum looks upon this individual. You've been touched by ice. Not in the good way, I might add.
oh really?
There is frostbite across half of this individual's body.
Hey, your name rings a bell. Might I presume the Serpent's Cloak is not, in fact, working with this triumvirate? And that was all spiel from numbnuts
I
down
have
there.
long been imprisoned. Long been imprisoned. The Serpent's Cloak may well be in league with all manner of dark being. We are a thieves' guild. But it was always to the gain of our own and not others. I faked my own death for that pure purpose.
How much sway would you have with the Serpent's Cloak should you return?
There is a deep rot within the ranks. I will return when I am at strength. I must head east. There I
Why?
have allies.
Where?
The kingdom in the east. Nihilin.
Okay.
Oh.
Fucking hell, I've just twigged who that bastard is, right? You know, in campaign 1, when we went in that watchtower, and then he was the person posing as the king of the guard, or the king's guard,
Yes.
he is now obviously 30 years older and got to the head of the Serpent's Cloak when he was just a middle manager at the time. Same geezer, right?
Might have been a certain battle with a certain frosty character towards the end of campaign.
I was going to say, was it also not the
And I thought he sacrificed himself for us.
Yeah. Yes. So
He's not fucking dead.
no, and also, yeah, he got.
Sorry, this is a tangent.
He got
from my
hit
own
by
personal
the
gain.
undead ice dragon called something starting with Z. Can't remember what it was.
Zapanir.
Zapanir.
Zapanir. Yeah. Fucking phenomenal.
Oh,
Love it.
Matt's pulling out all the fucking greatest hits for this.
Oh, this is
episode,
amazing.
isn't
That's awesome, man.
I would like to turn to.
he? To realise.
I'd like to turn to Ottoman and just kind of pull out two cigarillos and kind of gesture off to the side and be like, we're gonna see if there's anywhere for us to crash for the night. See if we can find any good places for all of us to bed down. Ottoman, do you wanna come help me out?
Yes.
I'll say, just to set the scene for the others then, you notice Takami has gone into full, almost nursemaid mode, and she is helping the Moon Maidens and sort of settling them down and bringing them food, making sure they've got enough water, tucking them almost into makeshift bunks, which she makes up. Callum is obsessed with this Serpent's Cloak individual and is just sat staring intently at the frostbite marks. The rest of you, I don't know. Carry on.
Well, we'll walk off, and you can circle back to us in a second. We're happy. I want to have a chat with him while we're looking.
Garnet, in this moment, what are you doing?
I think I would be sort of walking around, checking the perimeter and things. Roger would have gone into the armour, come back out wearing full surgical medical clothing, and is running around helping Takami help with things, little bales of water.
Imagine there's a point where Takami's just there like, okay.
I'm just imagining that bit in Ratatouille where the rats like wash their hands and go through everything, and then
he's going around like this.
Yeah.
So he can put his hand into some little gloves, and then
Takami's there with just sort of some like little gloves. Just you've got really tiny fucking claws.
Yeah, I know. I'll help you. Come on. Yeah, let's go. And then he's helping over there, and I'm just walking around, just checking the perimeter to make sure that we're safe and secure. Not leaving the room, because I know for a fact that if I leave the room, I'm going to end up somewhere completely different.
That's
why I was glad I wasn't leading the party.
Other than that particular thought, then.
There's part of me that wants to do the no. No, he's walking around like
elevator music. Just
I'm definitely in a different place. I'm nowhere near my home, so I've got to find a way to get back, because I need to go to Baldur's Gate. So these lot have said that there's a Feywild. So maybe if I can find a way to walk into the Feywild, I can then get home from there. The problem is I have no idea what direction I need to go to get to the Feywild, because every time I walk places, I get lost.
Are you saying this out loud or in your head?
He's thinking it while also saying it out loud.
It seems fitting that he's saying it out loud. Might not know it, but he's saying it out loud.
Because I do happen to know of an open Feywild portal that we established in Union City.
Oh, could you point me in the direction of Union City? Actually, no, wait. There's no point pointing me in the direction of Union City, because I won't get there.
I'll tell Roger where it is. I'll point it out to Roger on our map, and he can take you there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Oh no, I'm not there. Never mind.
Oh, shit. Cavern, what are you doing?
As I hear Garnot say he wants to get to this portal in Union City, I am a little bit torn between going to Lex and telling him what the words were that were shared with me from what felt like Paragon. But timing-wise, I want to just capture this moment with Garnot and come up to him and just talk to him a little bit about Union City, and almost try to comfort him in knowing that he's going to a place that there's some really good things there that I try to highlight, and also maybe some areas that I want him to be aware of. And then I also think I may just drop a message through Moro to Mara to be on the lookout for Garnot, and perhaps lend him a hand if he ends up getting there.
Good stuff. Aegeus and Ottoman, then, as you exit outside into a warm summer night within Eleanor, the sound of the sea lapping against the shore somewhere below you, as you realise you're up on the cliffs somewhere within Eleanor. What do you discuss?
I'll kind of walk out to wherever we can get a bit of a view and look out over the water. And just kind of stand there and be like, I didn't realize, I heard when I was tracking Klein, the rumors of his betrayal. I heard he slayed tens of men on his path to the king. I just wanted to say, I can imagine you've lost a lot up until this point, and I'm sorry that his wake touched so many.
Yeah, I have learned to steal all of my emotions. Ottoman seldom laughs, seldom finds humor, seldom shows any emotion. But at this moment, when you say that, I reveal more than I have probably to anyone. And my clan Clovis, were the last to stand before the king fell. I was a mere child. All my kinsmen, uncles, parents, brothers, sisters, destroyed by the king killer. It wasn't the king killer alone. It was the Blackwaters. It was the Marrowvales. They will pay. I will avenge my family. The fire burns hot inside of me. We will be reestablished and bring Kedmare back to its glory of honor and trust by the people. This I vow.
Once knew a man who went by the name of Jones a long time ago. And he said very similar words to you, a vow of revenge. One that, as far as I understand, he still holds to this day. But, it's okay to hurt. Being stoic and staving away the pain is, it's a temporary solution. You put it in a box and you can bury that box at the end of whatever garden you want to, but you always know it's there. And I just want you to know that though I'm who I am, I understand that pain. I've lost many to the king killer. I've lost those I've loved, friends. My friends have lost friends. My actions caused me to lose family and friends, all because of him. And I buried that shit away for so long that I couldn't even see that he was right in front of me. I can feel your fury. I can feel your rage. I can feel your anger. And, I just want you to know that, there's someone else out there, that is suffering with the pain that you feel. And I just want you to know that I love you, man. And I'm not sure if that means anything to you at this point, but I appreciate you being here and knowing that I'm not the only one that feels that hate deep within me.
I reach out a hand, and it seems very awkward. I don't even know how to do it, to show friendship. But I put a hand on your shoulder, Edges, and I lean forward, and I say, "The box will remain buried, and there will be no tears until vengeance is served." And I turn, and I walk away.
Hey, just remember,
I stop.
it's not hate that vanquishes all. It's love. It's the only thing that can break through. Darkness will exist forever, but it's only when the light gets switched on that things truly change. But I understand. And I just will turn back and look up to the moon as he takes a drag on the cigarillo.
Yeah.
And
I hear your words and just hesitate for a second, but continue walking. So you might not see it, nor will anyone else, but a single tear trickles down the corner of my eye.
Edgius, as you turn, Takami steps out. That might just be the wisest thing you've ever said.
Well, I guess when you know someone like you know yourself, it's not hard to say the things you wish someone would say to you.
I get that. And with
And
that,
as everyone-
seeing the...
Is everyone inside patched up, Takami? You, also, great job with that portal earlier. We wouldn't have been able to do the killing of things if you weren't on that.
Everyone's fine.
Ed just pushes the hand away. No, you inspired me today. I just needed you to know that.
Everyone else is fine. All but one. And with that, for the first time, she just hugs you. And you feel not one, but 6 arms envelop you. I've got you.
I just will hug tight and I'll be like, yeah, and just be in that moment, just fucking the warmth of another person, the smell of her, what I imagine is jasmine scented hair, her just warmth, man, and I just will look up to the moon and be like,
in that moment, then there is just that within your chest.
Whoa.
And yeah, I like to imagine that the camera pans away from us at that moment as we sit there under the starlight holding one
It does
another.
indeed, and it follows down the trail and Ottoman as you wander off, unsure of your direction. A raven flutters across in front of you. and feathers begin to drop. In front of you.
I clutch at one of the feathers if I can. Grab it and pull it close.
So you walk up
knowing
to the
that the lady still
pick it up, sort of
exists.
flick it. Each of those feathers is stripped in a way where you've got the bone, if you like, of the feather, and then the actual feathers that come out towards the end, and each of them looks uncannily like an oar. But they lead you in a direction, and you begin to face west, knowing what's been told to you that you now stand in Eleanor. West would take you home.
If there was a time to
Okay.
shout omen, Fletch, that was it.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. That's exactly what I'm thinking, and there's no question in my mind. Head west, young man.
The one time that Ottoman breaks out of character, fourth walls it like Deadpool and just goes, foreshadowing.
And then heads east. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Fuck you, DM.
You continue on your journey out, and you find a particular ferry still running to this day. You hop on and traversed over the bay that stands between sort of Eleanor and Dryamere proper, and the main continent, as you are in on one of the islands within this bay of Dryamere. And all the while just following these feathers. And eventually, as you begin to head west and out into the woodlands and the open plains of Corellan's Pass, the raven itself disappears. As you watch it just float and fly away over the horizon into the moonlight almost. And even though you are now distant from any waterway or river, sea, shore, you hear the lapping of water and the sound of oars. Garnet.
So yeah,
Continue
Union
now
City,
and-
yeah. Union City. Just tell me, Kevin, please. Does Union City have naked statues? Because the Waterdeep that I come from, they've got naked statues there, and the male naked statues have got these really big things.
Feet.
And does Union City have naked statues too? I'm
I've
just
seen
trying
a lot of naked people in Union City. I don't know if they were statues.
Yeah, no, I'm not
At
sure
this
about...
point, Callum's
I mean-
folding up his trousers and just turns around and says, "What? Sorry?"
That's a lot of
there's
ass.
yeah. Wait till he turns around. Yeah, no. Look, Union City is the type of place where you can pretty much find whatever you want. Good, bad, or indifferent. Just keep your head on a swivel, and yeah, just follow your heart, and that seems to have helped you quite a bit up till now. You've got your partner with you, and I'm gonna put a good word out, and I'm gonna describe how you look, and if anyone approaches you and says, "Hey, you're welcome, and we've got some information that will help you," listen to them, because they will have heard from you, and they'll help you out.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. And as I said before during the combat and all that sort of stuff, my name is Garnot Silurian. You can see what I look like. We are now familiar with each other. If at any point you wish to use the sending spell to contact me in any sort of way for me to potentially come and help you, or just for a chat, it's up to you, you can use the spell to contact me.
Yeah, of course. And I'm not sure if anyone told you, but we're potentially hiring to expand
Yes,
kind of the
Tom.
network. And we're looking for people with the right kind of attributes. And I must say, whether it's battle or just your character, if you're, and I pull out a Planar Detective Agency card, and I say,
Nice.
at all interested, I think we'd probably be interested in having a chat with you when you're ready, or if you're ready. But that's up to you to decide once you get to Union City.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very... I'm quite flattered by that. Thank you.
He was talking to
And
Roger.
I turn to him and I turn to him and I say, I try to dig in a little deeper into his essence, and I say, "Hey, no, Garnet. I just want you to hear me right now. We really, really appreciate what you brought to us, and if you need anything, you use that sending spell, and we'll try to find you and help you, like you helped us."
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I don't know what to do with myself now. I feel a bit teary. Roger hands me a little
Pull
napkin.
yourself together. Hand you the napkin.
Thanks, that's pretty nice.
Matt, I would like to retroactively say that as Ottoman is going towards where he's going, he looks in his gauntlet that he put on Edgius's shoulder, and there's a little Planar Detective Agency card tucked in there as well.
Ottoman wanders across the plains of Krellin's Pass. It's like, why is my gauntlet itching? But Garnet, you in this moment, then you feel the pull, and it's a familiar pull. It's that next step in the journey. As even Roger sits on your shoulder. Where are you going then?
Yeah. I'll be back in. I'll see you later. Thank you very much. And I turn and walk.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm strange enough, don't worry.
That's the truth.
Gonna get that fucking rat.
Very good. You and Roger exit out
Rat turns off and flips you off.
Stupid cat.
You and Roger exit out of the Moonwell Sanctuary then and begin to head down into Eleanor proper. Not really sure where you're heading. Roger has got a map in front of him, which at some point Roger skittered off to where Lex is, and with the whole description of Union City and stuff like that, managed to find the map of Enoweth, and has just been sort of scrabbling and copying it in the process, but then brings it back. And he's got this tiny little map in front of him. It's just left, and you begin to wander throughout Eleanor. You find the same ferry crossing. You have to wait a little bit, but eventually the ferry comes back and you cross back into Enoweth proper, and you do head towards Union City. But as you head towards Union City, snow begins to fall. In the heart of summer, snow begins to fall. Catch a few snowflakes on your tongue, and It's almost like licking a battery. There's a bit of a buzz
That
to
was
it.
shocking.
And eventually the landscape changes and you walk through this wooded area and the snow settles and you find yourself in a wintry wonderland. These trees with no leaves just sort of grow at awkward angles, snow laying heavy on them, and you see a grand lake in front of you beyond this castle. And then a voice. Hello, Garnet. Back again.
Oh, is that my
was
hobgoblin
lovely.
friend?
It is. You see, as the hood is pulled back of a snow-covered hood, or a snow-covered cloak, as this hobgoblin steps forward, this whip still at their side and a staff in their hand. Not lost again, are we?
I was heading to this place called Union City, and then it started snowing, and I ended up in the woods. So I'm gonna say yes. I definitely lost, as always. What do you expect? There's nothing different.
Oh well. You know what? Don't think you'll like this place much. But I know somewhere you might like. Maybe we'll head there and then you'll be on your way.
All right, well, this is the Feywild, though, isn't it? I always bump into you in the Feywild. Although the trees look a little sort of dead, and it's snowing. I've never known it to snow in the Feywild. Well, at least I've never known it to snow white in the Feywild. That's normally normal planes that do that. Unless one of the gods has got
Not
really
wrong.
bad dandruff.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's not a god, like, but he might have bad dandruff. But no, he's, well, Farewell right now is all on its topsy-turvies heads.
Oh,
I really wish my friend Andrew was here right now. He'd be able to explain this better. But no, there's a lot going on in the Feywild, and right now this seems to be the strongest place. This might be why you ended up here, given your whole like wandering stuff. But right, yeah. If we continue on this way, we need to just avoid the lake. There's a scary lady there. We don't want to touch her. We don't want to even speak to her. It's a very scary lady. She's
Truth.
really tall as well. She's like 12 feet tall, like really big. I've killed
12
dragons.
feet,
but
feet, or 12,
She's
12 feet. Because my feet
not
aren't
sure
that
what you
big.
just
So
asked
if
me
she's
then.
12 of my feet big, then that's
Oh,
not that scary. But if she's 12 feet big, then that's really scary.
Do you know, I never understood the measurement, but now I kind of get it.
This is like watching a conversation between Bill,
It
Neil
really
deGrasse Tyson
is.
and Bill. Bill Nye, science guy.
Either way, we need to avoid a lake. But then
Right.
I think we can probably get you on your way where you need to be going.
Okay.
Have you had fun? Where have you been?
I've had loads of fun. I was at this. Do you know what? I forgot what it's bloody called now. Well, I started off in the Moonwell, and I listened to this conversation, and he would say everything about where he's been and all that. And so, can I boundaries and all that, but can I hold on to your shoulder so I don't end up in the lake? Because I'll take 2 steps this way and end up 50 steps that way.
Bothrid actually reaches out. Just hold my hand. Look, we're all safe here. And just takes your hand. Where's Roger?
Like
Roger!
Roger just appears on his head.
Hello, little buddy.
Yep. That's all right. Starts pulling on his hair.
Do you know what? No, I appreciate it. Right, let's this way. And Bothrid leads you through the Whispering Woods of the Lord of Winter's domain in the Feywild. And eventually leads you to a tree and then just sort of touches it. And it opens up and this golden light spills out. This one felt right, so I don't know, I just tap into your weird shit that goes on, to be honest, mate. Entrez-vous?
All right. Yeah. Thanks. And how do I do this? Because going through different trees is always different. Should I take a run-in jump, or do I just walk through, or should I just dive through? Missile
I
it
was
through?
like a knee slide, personally, if I'm going through trees, to be honest, just so you don't bang your head on whatever the low ceilings are.
All right, sounds good. I take a few steps back, and then I just run at the tree and then just slide.
In that moment, then, as you slide, and Roger just sort of looks back and salutes Bothrid as you disappear through this portal in a tree. And you feel warmth again. What's Garnet's final thought then as he exits the Feywild into lands beyond and who knows where?
Whee!
Fucking love it. Amazing stuff then. As Garnet and Ottoman go on their separate adventures into lands beyond, into Ardalia, and back home, for wherever home may be. The Planar Detective Agency's attention turns back to an individual now within the Moonwell Sanctuary. Edgius Takami just looks at you and says, do you know what? Why don't you get Cavan and let's go for a walk?
That's...
No, not like that, you weirdo. Just, I know Lex and Jewel are going to want to question that asshole in there, so I figured you two could just use some time. Like, fuck. Why do you have to make everything weird?
I didn't make... I just... Look...
He's your best friend, no?
Yeah, so let's all three of us go for a walk. That's normal. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That sounds great.
I mean, if you two want to go for a walk by yourselves, then fine. Fuck off.
Well, why don't we just take Callum as well? Because Callum's getting weird. Look how close he is to that guy's arm.
I forgot. I'm not going to lie. I forgot about him. So, yes, let's take Callum. And
yeah,
we'll go do what we need to. Let's go. Seaside Town. Let's go see what taverns there are. But,
If your name begins with K or C, please come this way, Edgius will say from through the door, like a crack in the door. Please follow the voice. We have a surprise for you.
Does this require trousers or not require trousers, darling?
Callum.
That's up to you, Callum. That's up to
Callum.
you.
Yes,
Don't change your routine. Don't change your routine. Just come on. Let's see what he wants to talk about.
No trousers it is.
No trousers it is.
Callum sort of wanders beyond with you then. As you as a four sort of join together and then go and hit the town. And go and find the various taverns, and eventually someone turns around to Callum and sort of says, please put some trousers on, and he just sort of takes somebody's scarf and just wraps it around. It's not enough to cover whatsoever. And in that moment, as you descend into the taverns and make a night of it, Jewel and Lex, your attention specifically turns back to Abaya, who sits there in the middle of the Moonwell Sanctuary. And that, my friends, is where we are going to finish tonight. So if I am right, and Tom and Bodhi, you're going to have to correct me, I'm pretty sure you are both unable to attend our next session, so it's down to just 3 of us. So, yes, it will be...
Yeah, that's going to be
from
quite
a huge group of 7, huge group of 7 down to just 3. It will be very, very intimate in our next session. But, no, look, amazing session. I, personally... want to say a huge thank you to Finch and Josh for being amazing, not just tonight but last week as well. Look, absolutely hats off to you both. Love you both. Thank you so much,
guys.
It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for all the notes. Thank you for all the notes.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for all the notes.
Yeah.
Amazing. And look, the door is always open as well, so we would love to have you back as well.
Yeah.
So if you have it,
Even
Let
if
me
you
know.
just
We are
pretend you're
recruiting.
coming on the next episode, so Matt gives you loads of notes and then just send us them. That'd be great.
That's right. If you
Oh,
get stumped.
there was so much stuff that I had that I didn't tell you.
Oh yeah, me
Why
too.
would you say
I got a
that?
whole bunch
Or
of stuff,
did
too.
I?
Right. Yeah.
Love it.
Come to think of it,
never
you're right.
know.
Look at all the notes I got. A whole bunch more notes I didn't even talk to you about here, guys.
Mate, I'm gonna go to bed with
screen
an
grab that.
anxiety attack tonight. That's good.
It's all right. We know everything.
Amazing. Well, yeah, so massive lore dumps for this evening then. Next week we are into episode 73, and then following that we are into our third episode of Monster of the Week as well. So if you've not caught the first two episodes, then please go watch that as well. And then we're in the rapid run up to Christmas as well. So believe it or not, folks, we have got 3 more sessions before we take a little bit of a break and then do a rerun of Call of Cthulhu for the sort of Christmas period. But then we'll be back in 2025 with campaign 2 again. So yes, final thoughts from cast and crew. Anything else, Dave?
I'm so glad to have made part of tonight. Thank you ever so much to our guests. Really have enjoyed it, and well done, Matt, for herding us cats in the right direction.
We just have to roll with the flow. Anyway, Danny.
I think we all fucking nailed it.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. Tom.
I particularly liked that last scene between Ottoman and Aegeus. I thought it was pretty spectacular. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Here's
Bodhi?
the olive branch, and just went, nope, see you later.
Yeah, Bodes.
I would just say just a pleasure as always. Fletch, it's second time we've done this with you, and you were great last time. You're awesome this time. Thank you for being my dance partner in that last scene. And
it worked.
And just appreciate you both. Like, I appreciate this space and the fact that we get to hang out with awesome people and do this storytelling thing with folks who are great at it and people who are just really awesome. So just from like the Malt Magic, all of us, from Homie and the Dude, from me and Tom, like, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for taking the time out of your lives to come and give us some love and just grace us with your presence. So yeah, on my end, just very appreciative of these last 2 sessions. It's been really, really nice to have you guys.
Cool. Yeah, man. Cool.
Amazing stuff. Fletch,
Yeah.
anything from yourself?
Yeah, it's the best part of there's a lot of good parts of D&D, but honestly, when you can just improv with by the seat of your pants, and it works, and anyone who's in the group or anyone watching can feel an emotional connection. That wasn't rehearsed. That just happened, and that is what D&D really is at its essence: role playing, and that's the way to go. So I appreciate you guys because you put that front and center of your games, and I think that anybody who's a gamer, especially D&D, understands the importance of a campaign as opposed to just playing a game. It makes a big difference. So hats off to all you guys because you're all doing it every time I watch you. It's good to be here.
We love it. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Fletch.
man.
Lovely to have you. And finally, Josh, anything from yourself, my friend?
Thank you very much for having me. I've enjoyed the past 2 weeks. Love the level of roleplay. Obviously, the first session that I was in was very combat heavy, and I just love how obviously everything was described in that one. And then with this one, with just the detailed level of roleplay that there was, seeing all of your faces when we did the lore drops, the fact that Dave was able to make the second half and his foot's kind of okay.
It's still
As
attached.
well.
It's fine.
It's still attached. It's still there. Yes, thank you very much, Matt, for inviting me, and everybody else for putting up with my bullshit.
No, absolutely
All
not. I think
good.
both of you, from both of your first sessions, fit right in as well with the group we've got. We are irreverent as fuck, so thank you for bearing with us on that front.
Oh yeah, love it.
We have massively appreciated having you both here. As I say, the door's always open. Let us know, and we will continue to support you both as well in whatever way, shape, and form we can. And I
Appreciate
say
it.
the collective we there, 'cause speaking from not just Mortal Magic but Homie and the Dude as well.
Hell yeah.
Look, I think this has been a fantastic last 2 sessions of Malt and Magic. I look forward to what comes in the future as well. But with that being said, this has been episode 72. We are the Malt and Magic, Homie and the Dudes, Eldritch Press, and Roll Together cast and crew. We love you all. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.